Yeah, we love yeah, we love y'all too. And I hope to see you soon. And I will see you soon. So we'll see each other. All right, babe. Love you too, babe. Okay, bye-bye. Oh, that was my
Good morning, Mr. Pikens.
Morning, Mr. Reed.
I got an email from Mr. Yancey about Miss Milton.
Yes, I did too.
I'll go into the breakout room with her. I also got an email from Miss Cleveland about Mr. Shaw. You're handling Mr. Shaw, is that right?
I certainly will.
Okay. I'll do Milton and Mr. Brown. And I'll take care of that pretrial.
Okay.
I believe you have a traffic matter coming into the courtroom this morning. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
We'll try to divide it up.
Sounds good. Miss Mack, are you there?
Morning, everyone.
Morning, Miss Cleveland.
Morning.
Good morning.
Happy Friday. I'm so happy.
Same to you.
I sent over an email. I'm not sure if you all received it or not, but for you and the prosecutor regarding Mr. Shaw.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Fikens will be handling Mr. Shaw.
Thank you.
I don't fully understand it, but we can state it off the record.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, good morning, everyone. 36th District Court is now in session. I am Judge Shannon A. Holmes, and I'm serving as the presiding judge. Good morning in the virtual courtroom as well as in the physical courtroom to everyone. On this morning, we have our specialty court docket. We also have some other matters, Mr. Fikens and Mr. Reed. And so we are going to get through it. I'm going to start. Officer, if you could pull what I printed off the printer, did someone take it? Oh, Miss Drew. Miss Drew is working with us on today.
Good morning.
We're glad
everybody.
to see her. She's saying good morning to everybody. All right. All right, let's do it. Let's go to the attorneys. Place your appearance on the record, please.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning. For the record, Jesse Reed, drug court, vet court, specialty court, defense attorney.
One more time for me, Mr. Reed.
23863. Good morning again, Judge. For the record, Jesse Reed, drug court, vet court, specialty court, defense attorney. P 23863. Judge, if I may, I'd like to make a motion, a continuing motion, that my appearance be for all my clients this morning. Thank you. Can you hear me, Judge?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. All right. Good morning, Mr. Reed, and your motion is granted.
Judge, a preliminary matter, when Mr.
Yes.
Brown completes his hearing, I'd like to go into a breakout room and talk to him for a moment, if I may. Mr. Brown?
When Mr. Brown, who is Mr. Brown?
Ms. Harris's client.
Carrie Brown.
Carrie Brown.
Oh, God, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right, Mr. Fikens.
Thank you. Good morning, Your Honor. Robert Fikens, P 31894, Specialty Court Defense Attorney, and I would make a similar motion.
All right. Thank you. And good morning to you, Mr. Fikens, and your motion is granted.
Judge, I have
Any preliminary matters?
Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off. Judge, yes, I do. I don't know if Mr. Asadi is here yet, but if Ms. Drew could if Ms. Drew could send me an ROA on that matter, and then Mr. Asadi needs to be sent up to see his parole officer. I know he has a lot of paperwork that we were not able to communicate very well together yesterday, and I'd like them to take a real good look at the paperwork he has, because I think it explains almost everything, if not everything, Judge.
All right, very good. And so we requested an interpreter for him. And so, Ms. Drew, did you hear Mr. Fikens' request?
Yes, I did. Judge.
Okay, wonderful.
And that request was was made by me, not by my client, Judge. I need the record to be clear, because I don't want to let, he was not advocating for an interpreter. I was, because I was having concerns about him and me communicating. We were not communicating well, and that was my request, Judge, not his. He was not trying to divert or obfuscate any issue. I just want
Okay.
I think if he can talk with his probation officer, that would be good. I think they can communicate.
Can you call Mr. Thomas and let him know that Mr. Asadi is here in probation?
Yeah, he's here. I don't know who's probation.
Mr. Thomas.
Mr. Thomas. Okay, I'll get in touch with Mr. Thomas.
Yes, I think that's who, I'm almost certain that's who his probation officer
We're gonna
was.
send him up to talk to Mr. Thomas, or we're just gonna wait for Mr. Thomas to come on?
No, we can send him up, but let's make sure Mr. Thomas is here.
Absolutely.
Okay, wonderful. All right, thank you, Mr. Fikens. All right, I'm gonna start at the top of the screen. Ms. Cleveland?
Good morning, Your Honor. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Good morning. Toshi Cleveland, case manager for specialty court.
All right, good morning, Ms. Cleveland. Do you have any preliminary matters for me?
I'm just waiting for Mr. Daniel Shaw to arrive in person. I'm going to reach out if he's not in the courtroom yet. I'll reach out to him and see where he is, because AverHealth
He's
is,
not in the courtroom.
he's not, all right. AverHealth is on.
Yes. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, he hasn't made it here yet, so we'll let you know, okay?
Okay, and AverHealth has sent me a message. I don't know if they identified themselves in the waiting room as AverHealth, but they are in there, they said.
Okay, so find out who they are identified as, because we can't let them in. I don't see AverHealth. I see a Carol Thorpe. Is that who AverHealth with AverHealth?
Yes, ma'am, that's her.
All right, Miss Wilson, you can let her in. All right, wonderful. All right, Mr. Griffin, you are next on my screen.
Good morning, Your Honor. Brian Griffin on behalf of Sobriety Court this morning.
Good morning, Mr. Griffin. Do you have any preliminary matters for me? Or you already came down with your preliminary matters?
Yep, I'm good, Your Honor.
All right, very good, very good. All right, let's go to, I see Mr. Yancey.
Good morning, Your Honor. Kenneth Yancey on behalf of Specialty Court, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Yancey, any additional preliminary matters?
No additional, Your Honor.
All right, wonderful. And then Miss Harris.
Good morning, Your Honor. Angel Harris, case manager for Specialty Court.
All right, good morning, Ms. Harris. Do you have any preliminary matters?
I do want to remind the court that Ms. Driver is supposed to be appearing in person today for a violation hearing, although I have not heard from her, and honestly, I'm not anticipating her showing up, so I am going to start preparing a warrant just in case.
Okay,
And
wonderful.
Donald Hudgens is here. I understand you sent him up to test. He is just
Yes.
here as a follow-up, so I'm going to go ahead and get his lab sheet over so he can do that, and I'll send him back down. That's all I've got.
All right, wonderful. And we were following up because he was going to keep a log, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, and we just wanted to follow up after a confirmation was done on a positive screen there had been, and the confirmation was negative as we discussed, but we still wanted him to come in
Yes.
to review.
Gotcha.
Yes.
All right, very good, very good. All right. With that, I believe that's everyone. We are ready to start the docket. And I know that there were a few people scheduled for 8:35 a.m. And I see that, let's see, I don't see any of them on. None of the 8:35s are here other than Mr. Asadi. And so I'm going to give a few minutes for the 8:45 people to get on, because we have a few 8:45 people that we need to call.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I do have an update for Miss Elizabeth Krasinski.
Okay. Yes, let me call her. Give me 1 second. Right, are you ready for me to call Krasinski?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, Ms. Adams has arrived. We can let her case manager know that she's here. Good morning, Ms. Adams. Yes, you have to test. Yes, ma'am. All right, let's do it. I'm going to call Ms. Krasinski's case. I have for Elizabeth Krasinski, SP 105-55631. I also have case number U 597-16121. Ms. Cleveland, update us on Ms. Krasinski.
Your Honor, thank you. She is still being held in the custody of the Macomb County Jail. She has been there since the last time that it was reported that she was taken into custody there, and she has not been released. I'm going to be checking very frequently to see if there is a released date for her. I have no knowledge of that. I believe I heard initially that it was going to be 30 days, but it seems to be getting close to that mark. And I'm also going to make sure that I get in touch with her other probation officer to help with tracking her, her release from the custody.
All right, wonderful. I am going to then, Mr. Reed, Mr. Ficus, adjourn her to Thursday, June 15th, 2023. And I will place her on at 8:30 a.m. so we get a check-in on Ms. Krasinski, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Judge.
All right, wonderful.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Mr. Daniel Shaw is on the way. He's having some traffic issues. I think it's a lot of traffic coming down here. So he said he's estimating that he's going to be here by 9 a.m.
Okay, all right, very good. And I do see Mr. Maslin has joined us. Good morning, Mr. Maslin. Good
Yes.
to see you. You look great.
Hello, everyone.
All right, you look great, Mr. Maslin. Will we see you next week at our ceremony?
That's still gonna be, we'll have to see on that because I have a doctor's appointment that day. I believe Miss Cleveland's probably updated you on my current situation, my medical situation, so I won't go into it on the record. But I will be there if I can. I certainly would like to be, and if I can't make it, I will absolutely be there next year.
All right, wonderful. You're doing well, Mr. Maslin?
I've been through a whole lot over the last few months, but I would like to report that it's all medical issues. My sobriety has remained strong. My recovery is still a work in progress. I continue to work with Sarah, my therapist, on a weekly basis. We do individual sessions. I still am part of the same group that I've been a part of since I first started the program with the 36th District Court. I got a lot of friends in there. They're pulling for me in terms of my medical situation. They got my back. They're all behind me. And with the grace of God, I will get through this.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. You look great, Mr. Maslin. I'm proud of you that you did not allow medical challenges to take you backwards in recovery. I think right now, with everything you're going through, that being in recovery is probably the best thing that ever happened to you. And so I'm so glad to hear that you are maintaining. And I'm also glad that you are holding us true to our word, that we don't throw you away. You can always stop in, drop in, and we'll check on you and you check on us. And so listen, stay connected. I know that you have asked several times about a mentoring program that is on the horizon. We have a number of things that are just brewing right now, getting ready for graduation. We have requested some funding for mentoring as well. And so we've got to wait until some of that comes through. So stay connected to us, okay?
Oh, I definitely will be, because I am so all in on it. When you guys are ready, I am just like ready to rock with doing anything I can for you guys. I just would love it. I would absolutely, it'd be a great next step, I think, for me in my recovery.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Make sure you tell your parents I said hello.
I certainly will.
Make
And
sure
they say hello as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, Mr. Reed, Mr. Fikes, Ms. Cleveland, anything else? And then I'm going to start my docket.
Judge, I would say it's good to see you, sir. Be safe. And I know you stopped smoking, so be safe, sir. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you again, Mr. Maslin.
Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, I'm very glad to see him as well, and I've had long conversations with him. He's on the right track. He's doing well, and he has our support forever. He's also here to support Mr. Daniel Shaw, because that's one of the persons that's in the groups with him. So that's why he's in the courtroom today.
Right. Wonderful. All right. Well, as soon as Mr. Shaw joins us, we'll get to his case. So I'm gonna have you place yourself on mute, and I'm gonna get started with my docket.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Let's do it. I do see that Mr. Zaman, you're here. Good morning to you. I'm going to do one of our participants. Good morning. That's completing on this morning, and then I will call your case. Okay.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Very good. I'm ready on Garrett Wortell. I have case number 200-589-1801. Mr. Wortell, please state your full name for the record.
Garrett Wortell.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Wortell. How are you today?
I'm feeling blessed and feeling good.
All right. Are you doing everything you're supposed to do to progress?
Oh yeah, I'm in physical therapy rehab, and I've been here for a little over a week now. I got a release date, and it's been really hard, but I'm working through it and got my family on board, and I'm able to walk around a little bit and you know get my leg strength back up. It was all my entire body. So
Yes.
I'm really happy to be able to utilize my body parts in the right way, and I feel so good, and home care plan and stuff like that, and also staying sober and off of any medications that could potentially not be good for me. I haven't been taking them. I've been talking to my doctors and stuff, so they've been prescribing me other stuff that's not like a narcotic base, essentially, and
Good.
been perfectly fine. Pain has subsided, and I'm able to walk. I got to wear these leg braces on my legs for who knows how long, but they help me walk a lot better. Otherwise, I'd be collapsing on the floor. But you know, I'm staying positive with it. Got a positive attitude and just feeling good about the whole situation with that. Um, and yeah,
All right, that's awesome, Mr. Wortel. Listen, I know that this life-changing experience caught you by surprise, but you have done the work in this program. You've done the work. And so I want to see you focus solely on doing what you need to do to get well, to get back up and moving. And so I want to make sure the record reflects that he has been with us since July of 2021. So it's not like you did less than 14 months. You've almost done 2 years with us. And you have worked this program. We had a little bit of a hiccup at one time, but you course corrected and you've managed to stay on track. And so I really want you to focus in on getting better, getting stronger. And then, Mr. Yancey, I want to make sure that we do give him the continuum of care that was recommended by his provider. Of course, I can't make you follow it, but if you see that something is working for you, I just think people should do what works for them. If something has improved my quality of life, then I want to continue so
yeah.
that my quality of life can be good. And so I want you to do that. I want you to do that. So I hope that you've learned something while you've been with us, have you?
Oh, I have. I've learned a lot of things that are going to be with me for the rest of my life. Um, and I will never take for granted the situation I had to go through, and how we to turn those negatives into a positive, pretty much.
Yes.
So
Yes, and hopefully you have found some techniques through your sessions and through your provider services that you've been connected to help you cope and deal with not only challenges in life, but the issues that may have brought you to us, right?
yes,
Yes. All right, wonderful. I know that you had a very small balance that was left with the court. And so, Mr. Yancey, I indicated that I would waive that balance. And so I am Ms. Drew on Garrett Wortel. He has a small balance. I'm going to waive that balance. So let's make sure that goes in the system. And then the second part that I needed to deal with, Mr. Reed, Mr. Fikens, was that you all were supposed to reach out to a prosecutor as to whether or not they objected to Mr. Wortel's charges being dismissed because they are dismissible offenses.
Yes, Judge. There is a recommendation and stipulation that those matters could be dismissed.
And you broke up a little bit, Mr. Fikens. You're indicating that you spoke with the prosecuting attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, awesome. Wonderful. All right, Mr. Yancey, is there anything you want to add?
Your Honor, just that, Mr. Wartell, he's been a trooper with this whole process. We've had some ups and downs, but mainly ups. He's always had a good disposition. I was fortunate enough to be able to go see him, and even though it was one of his hardest moments, he still he kept his chin up and he kept his spirits up, and I think that's what's going to help him heal much faster. So I know he's gotten a lot from this program, and we talked about that when I did go see him. So I think he's gonna catapult through this and just be a different person in general, Your Honor.
All right, very good, very good. Mr. Reed, Mr. Fikens, anything you all want to add? She can sit in the audience. She's a check-in today.
Yes,
Judge. Go ahead.
Yes, Judge, thank you. Mr. Wartell, congratulations on completing the day. Take care of your health, sir. It's so important. You worked hard. You deserve everything that's coming to you today. Be safe, sir, and have a good day.
And if I could add, Judge, Mr. Wartell, we hope to see you back. We hope this isn't the end of seeing you. We hope this is just the beginning of seeing you. So hang in there and do well and be strong.
Thanks.
All right. If nothing else, I am going to dismiss case number 200-589-1801, which pursuant to our program is eligible for dismissal. And then I need everybody in the courtrooms to join me in celebrating Garrett Wartell on his successful completion of our specialty court. Congratulations, Mr. Wartell. Very happy for you. Very happy for you. We don't throw you away, Mr. Wartell. We're here if you need us, and we're gonna be checking in on you to make sure that you are doing well. Check in on us too, to make sure we're doing well too, okay?
I will.
All right, very good. Make sure you tell Ms. Chupak I said thank you for allowing you and encouraging you to come and work the program.
Thank you, Judge and Mr. Yancey, Mr. Reed, Mr. Falcons, and the whole court. I appreciate it.
All right. Hang in there and fight, sir.
Yeah.
All right. You are free to leave, Mr. Wartell. All right. Bye. Take care. Bye-bye. All right. Very good. I am now going to go to Mr. Ahmed's case. Mr. Zaman, if you are still on with us, and then somebody's in the waiting room, Miss Cleveland, with the name Elizabeth Krasinski. Could you please make sure that that's her?
That's her, Your Honor. She just called me and said that she was released. So she's able to join us on Zoom. She just got released.
Okay. You'll have to refresh me on what was our plan with her. She was at home, right?
She was already at home, and then her matter was outstanding there before she came into our program.
Yes.
So
okay.
She voluntarily submitted herself there.
Okay, very good. So Ms. Wilson, you can let her in, and let's keep going. Mr. Seaman, I'm gonna have you raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that you will interpret the words as spoken by the parties in today's proceedings, and that you will do so completely and accurately without any additions or deletions, so help you God?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Thank you. Please state your name as well as your qualifications.
Syed Zaman, SYED, first name, last name ZAMAN. I'm the professional court certified interpreter.
Thank you. And you are interpreting today from English to?
Bangla.
All right, and from Bangla to English. Please correct. Have Mr. Ahmed unmute for us, and I'm going to place his case number on the record and have him state his name. All right, his case number is 220-0030-FD. And please have Mr. Ahmed state his full name for the record.
Judge case ডাকছেন 220030 FD আপনার নামটা হুকা রেকর্ডার লাগি জনাব
He's
আনমিউট করো কা ভাই আনমিউট করো কা নাম হোক আপনার রেকর্ডারের নাম হোক
My name Kosiruddin Ahmed.
Kasiruddin Ahmed.
Thank you. How are you today, Mr. Ahmed?
আপনি আজকে কেমন আছেন জনাব আহমদ
Bala.
Good.
All right. Have you been working your program?
আপনার প্রোগ্রামও মেহনত করেন জেলা করার কথা
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. How are things going with respect to your treatment?
আপনার যে চিকিৎসা ভাই লুকিলাজার
Bala.
Good.
Right. Have you learned anything since you've been working the program?
আপনি যে প্রোগ্রাম আর বাদে আপনি কিছু শিখরানি ভাই
Yo, kata shikram bala shikar jogore minister.
Yeah, I'm learning. It helps a lot.
All right. Tell me something specifically that you have learned.
আপনি সুনির্দিষ্ট করে একটা জিনিস হোক দরকার আপনি প্রোগ্রামে একশন যে আগে পারছেন না একটা সংক্ষেপে একটা সুনির্দিষ্ট একটা কইতা উদাহরণ জাজিকেরা
অর্থাৎ শিকার মদ গাঞ্জাতে বিরত থাকতা
It helps to stay sober from drinking and using other substance abuse.
It helps. How does it help you?
কিলা হেল্প করে তাই জিজ্ঞাসা ভাই ওখান থেকে কইতা পদ্ধতিটা কোন পদ্ধতিটা আপনার ভালো লাগছে মনে করেন আপনার হেল্প হইছে
তারা চেষ্টা করে একটা ভালো লাগে এখন আমার ভালো লাগে ওটাতে বিরত আমি স্টাপ হয়ে গেছি
I am doing what they asked me to do and it's helped me. I stop taking those.
Okay.
By listening what they asked me to do.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. All right, Mr. Ahmed, do you have any questions for the team on this morning?
আজকে সকালে আমরা টিমের কাছে আপনার কোন প্রশ্ন আসেনি?
জি না আর কোনো প্রশ্ন নাই
No, I don't have.
এখন কি আমার প্রশ্ন গেলে কি তারা আচার কে নে সপ্তাহ দুইবার নেয় কি আপনার প্রশ্ন পেশাব দিনে নেয় আচার কে ওই তারা চার্জ করেন
They charge me $18 when I go every week for the urine test.
Okay, Ms. Harris, make sure that he is testing the appropriate number of times to be in compliance with the program.
After case manager কইরা যে make sure যে আপনি যে properly যেন টেস্ট করাইন আপনার ওই
যে না যাইতে সপ্তাহ দুইবার
I go twice a week.
Very good. All right. Okay, Ms. Harris, is there anything additional you need to report out as to Mr. Ahmed? He's in compliance?
জনাব হ্যারিস তুমি কি আর কিছু কইতানি জনাব আহমদ সম্বন্ধে
জি না কোন কিছু আর কোন
আপনার জিজ্ঞাসা না আপনার কেস ম্যানেজারের জিজ্ঞাসা
No, Your Honor, there's really nothing additional to add. Mr. Ahmed is still in phase 1. I will review him in the ABR health system and determine whether or not maybe his voucher expired. So he may still be eligible for some paid screenings. And I think that's maybe why he brought up how much they're charging him. So I will review that in the system, make sure that he's still being covered for his first phase for testing. Otherwise, he's in compliance and doing what he needs to do. I want to remind him.
Wait a minute, Miss. Hold on.
I'm so sorry.
ফার্স্ট পেজও আছে জাজ এখনো জনাব কসির আহমদ ফার্স্ট পেজও আছে আর ও যে পয়সা দিছে ফার্স্ট পেজও এলাও করে যে ফ্রি টেস্ট আমি মেক শিওর করব তার ভাউচার যেন স্টিল গুড থাকে যাতে ও করাইতে পারে ওটা মেক শিওর করব আদার দেন হে বালা করে
And I just want to remind him and his son that he has an appointment on the 14th that he needs to make. And we've discussed it.
আমি তারে তার ফুয়ার মাধ্যমে একটা অবগতম চাই তার আরেকটা অ্যাপয়েন্টমেন্ট আছে জুনের 14 তারিখ যে মেক শিওর দ্যাট হি গুজনে অংশগ্রহণ করে
Right. Very good. Mr. Ahmed and Mr. Zeman, we will see you all on June 16th, 2023. The graduation starts at 10:30, so please make sure he gets there before 10:30 so that he's able to participate.
বাই জুনের 16 তারিখ দেখো হইব সকাল 10:30টার সময় কমিয়াং বিল্ডিং গো যে গ্রাজুয়েশন পার্টির লাগি মেক শিওর আপনি 10:30টার আগে মনে থাকুন জানো
আমার যেন আমার ফুয়ারটা টেক্সট করে দিলে একটা বিল্ডিং নম্বরটা কিন্তু আমি যাইবনি
I would appreciate if they text my son the information.
Or hold on. Or you all can go in a breakout room with Miss Harris, the interpreter, and Mr. Ahmed, and then you can give the son the information and Mr. But I want to make sure Mr. Ahmed has the information.
I've provided that, sir.
Hold on. Yes,
Baker room gya Janab Ahmed loge interpreter মাধ্যমে তারে ওটা ইনফরমেশন দাও তারপর আমি মেক শিওর করতাম চাই যাতে ইনফরমেশন পায়
Your Honor, I have provided that information multiple times via email and verbally to both him and his son.
আমি জাজ কয়েকবার মৌখিকভাবে তার ফুয়ার এবং তারে কইছি 16 তারিখের বিষয়ে
Ms. Harris, if he's asking for the information, I'm going to ask you to go into the breakout room and provide it to him again, because I need him to be there.
যা কইরা যে মিস হ্যারিসে যে যখন খোর আমি আবার চাই তুমি ব্রেকআউট গিয়া রুমে মেক শিওর দ্যাট হি তার কাছে যেন অ্যাড্রেস থাকে
Ms. Wilson, if you could place Mr. Zeman, Mr. Ahmed, and Ms. Harris in a breakout room, and then after he's finished, he's free to leave.
টাইম কইরা আমরা ব্রেকআউট রুমে বাদে আমরা শেষ হয়ে গেলে আমরা যাইতাম কি ফার্ম
All right. Thank you, and thank you, Mr. Zeman.
Thank you, Judge.
If you are in my
nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well. If you are in my courtroom and you do not have camera capabilities, you need to come down to 36th District Court. Please do not sit in the courtroom and your camera is not working, Mr. Brown. Make your way down here immediately. All right, thank you. Miss Milton. Okay, yeah, Miss Milton, you need to call someone to come and pick up your son. You need to do that. So you can go up and test, and then you need to make arrangements for someone to pick up your son, okay? To come and pick him up. All right, thank you so much. I don't want to call CPS, so I'm giving you the opportunity because anything that happens today, your child being here is not going to determine your outcome. So I just want to be more proactive than reactive, okay? All right, thank you so much. You can go test now. Make sure you make that call. All right, very good. Mr. Ahmed needs to go to a breakout room. All right. Ms. Krasinski, good morning. I called your case. It's good to see your smiling face. Unmute for me.
Good morning. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm alive.
Yes, you are. You still smiling? You still on track?
Yes.
All right. When is the last time you've tested?
I just got out of jail yesterday.
I know. So I need you to go test today, okay?
I just talked to my Macomb agent. I had some issues with the testing place. She is getting me into this program. It's called JAMS. Because I actually moved. I literally just called Miss Cleveland before I signed on here. And Miss Cleveland was like, we're in court. Can you just sign in to the hearing? So I did. I haven't even had a chance to update Miss Cleveland on anything yet. But they are getting me into the JAMS program because it is closer to where I now live.
That's wonderful. So I need you to go. Miss Cleveland will make arrangements today for you to go and test because you must test today, okay?
Okay.
All right, Miss Cleveland, you all will get a chance to talk because I realize that you're just getting together because she thought you were still in custody. I'm glad that you're out of custody. I hope that you've learned something and that you're
Oh,
ready
yeah.
to roll up your sleeves and
Oh,
get
yeah.
back to work.
Oh, yes,
You
very, very much
ready?
so. Okay.
Okay, and you understand this is not a system you want to be in, right?
Oh, no. The only reason why I was
All
incarcerated, it wasn't anything new that I did. I
I
had
know.
an old warrant that I turned myself in on. I'm actually in the process of trying to fight for my two youngest children to see them. So, you know, I couldn't do that with that kind of charge like lingering over my head. So it's like one step, you know, I moved, not with the same gentleman that I was with. You know, I'm in a lot better position than I am now. So, you know, it's just,
All
I
right, well,
literally have just like woke up and I called Miss Cleveland. So, I'm still trying to get things situated for today. So, I guess after the court hearing, whenever this is over, I call Miss Cleveland and kind of like update her on the situation. I actually talked to Alice J yesterday. So,
okay, good, good. All right, so you and Miss Cleveland can get together. Miss Cleveland, your other client has not shown up yet, so you may have some time, I don't know. But you and Miss Cleveland get together and get her set for testing, get her back reconnected to her services. And it sounds like, Miss Krasinski, you are accepting responsibility and doing what you need to do. You've already talked to Alice J. That is awesome. So I am so, so proud of you. I want you to
thank
know
you.
that. So let's get to work, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right. I'm gonna see you your next court date. So we'll give her her next court date. It's going to be on June 16th, 2023, and that's going to be at 10:30 a.m. for our graduation. Miss Cleveland will give you all of that information. It
Okay.
starts at 10:30. I'm sorry, I'm turned away, but I'm about to self-destruct and I'm reaching for my fan. I'm
You're
sorry.
okay.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry. All right. And so Ms. Cleveland will give you all of that information, okay?
Mhm.
So that you can meet us at the Coleman A. Young Municipal Center
Well, I have
before
to
the
come down
graduation starts. Yes, ma'am. It's in person. You've got to be there in
there.
person. And
If,
we're gonna treat you well. So
if,
definitely
if I
you
have a
want to
job,
be here.
if I have a job and I can't make it, I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to.
Nope, you've got to take off. It's a court date. It's a court date. Okay? Talk to
I'll
Ms.
make,
Cleveland.
I'll make it work.
All right?
Um,
Let's make
Miss,
it work. It'll
should
be
I call,
worth your while too. It'll be
okay.
worth it.
Should I call Miss Cleveland now?
Miss Cleveland is in court. Miss Cleveland, give
Your
her a
Honor,
time that you can, or if you can.
Your Honor, if the phone number that you dialed to me just recently, is that a number that I can connect with you as soon as I'm done in court? Because I do have another client that's on the way down there and we're having a hearing on that matter. So it would take me a few minutes to call you. I don't know if you have to be at work, but I do have to get your new address. I have to
Yes,
inform you
I
of
know.
how
I
jams
just,
work.
that's what I was calling to update you with this morning, but then you were like, before.
Wait. Miss Cleveland, why don't you all go in a breakout room since your client isn't here yet?
Okay.
Because he's not here.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. Miss Wilson, place them in a breakout room for me. All right. Can you let the other specialty court know that Miss Adams is here?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. All right, Miss Milton is up testing. I have not seen Mr. Brown. Is Mr. Brown, he does not, if he could turn on his camera. Mr. Brown, turn on your camera for me. Good morning. I know, you okay? I've asked Mr. Brown to turn on his camera. It's not coming on.
Taylor says she sent me a text.
Miss Harris, you may want to reach out to Mr. Brown, let him know I need his camera on. Oh, did she just disappear? Miss Wilson, if you could send a message to the iPhone that's in the waiting room to put their name on it, that would be great.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very good. Did Mr. Hudgens come back? I don't see him. Mr. Thomas, good morning to you. Your client is here. Have you had an opportunity to speak with him?
Yes, I have.
Are you ready to proceed with the hearing or?
Yes, I am.
Okay, wonderful. Do we need the interpreter?
He has requested one, Your Honor. Have they not logged in?
Oh, they said they're still working on it?
Just called. She's just still working.
Okay. All right, they're still working on an interpreter. So Mr. Thomas, if you want to sit and wait, that's fine. Or you can go back up and we will call you when we're ready. I'll leave that up to you, okay?
I'll wait here, Your Honor.
All right, no problem. Did he do the things that he was supposed to do?
No, there's one outstanding condition.
All right. Okay, no problem. I think that.
At some point, Judge, might I be able to go into,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Mr. Biden.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Your Honor. At some point, may I go into a breakout room with Mr. Thomas? I know the breakout, the conference room might be busy at this point, but if it's possible
Yes,
that.
Mr. Thomas, do you mind you want to set up in there or you want to just?
I'm just going back up to my office. I'm right by my phone.
Okay, all right. He wants you to log on and go into a breakout. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna log in at my desk.
Wonderful. All right, thank you. Mr. Brown, you know you can't come on here with a do-rag. You can't. I don't do do-rags. All right. Miss Harris, are you still with us?
Sorry about that, Your Honor.
No problem. Mr. Brown, while Miss Harris might be attending to something else, I'm going to have Miss Wilson place you and Mr. Reed in a breakout room. Needs to have a little chat with you. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
You're very welcome. Okay. All right. We can do the 1035 cases, Ms. Drew, if you're ready. You ready? 1035. That's gonna pass up. All right, you ready? For Alfonso Davis Jr., I have case number 200-454-9001. He had a face-to-face on today. No issues have been brought to this court's attention. His next date will be on June 16th, 2023 at 10:30 a.m. in person at the Coleman A. Young Municipal Center. I have Juan Lopez Chavez, SP 134-32041. He is scheduled to be here I'm doing the 10:35 a.m. case. He is scheduled for a face-to-face and his next court date on that particular matter will be June 16, 2023 at 10:30 a.m. in person. Mr. Chavez also has 3 matters at 10:30 that Mr. Fikens is working on, and he's going to appear at 10:30 regarding those 3 matters. Okay, Ms. Drew?
Yes, ma'am.
Look to see if he paid that one that says adjourn to pay that blockading traffic,
Okay.
because that's one he needed to pay.
Okay.
All right.
I've already checked it, Your Honor. He did not pay it.
Okay, well, I need to see him. Okay. She also had
Judge, I'm back with Mr. Brown. We had a conversation. Thank you. He's at work, Judge. I just wanted to put that on the record.
All right. Wonderful. Are we ready to proceed? I
Yes,
don't see him
Judge.
on the screen.
I hope we didn't lose him.
Bring him back in for me. If he's in that breakout room, Miss Wilson. All right, you ready to proceed, Mr. Brown?
Yes, I am.
All right, wonderful. Let me place your case numbers on the record. I have for Kari Brown, case numbers SP 135-50121, case number Z 8086911. Mr. Brown, state your full name for the record, please.
Curry Brown. Excuse the bandana, Your Honor. I'm at work and I was trying to get on. I couldn't get my camera on. I forgot to remove my bandana. So
That's
I
all right.
apologize about
You're
that.
good. That's okay. I'm just glad you made it in. I saw your name up there. Your picture just wasn't up. So
It
you're
was
good.
my audio last time. Now it's my video. So I don't know what it was. I had to grab a co-worker's phone to get on. And then once I got on, I don't know, maybe my cellular picked up because then my phone kicked in, but I'm here.
Oh, well, I'm just glad to see you, sir. Glad to see you. How are things going with you?
Everything's okay.
That's good. You working your program, Mr. Brown?
Yes, I am.
All right. Tell me what's working for you. What do you think is working well for you right now?
I just think the program is keeping me focused, letting me know I can't get out of line, just keeping my focus better. You know, the little free time that I do have, because like I said, I work a lot, but it's just keeping me focused.
All right. Very good. Are you having any challenges with working the program?
No, I'm not. Nope,
No?
everything's
Okay.
going smooth. Everything's
It's going
going
smooth.
smooth.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Have you learned anything about yourself since you've been working the program?
Like I said before, just that I had more discipline than I thought. Yeah.
Okay. More discipline. Can you give me an example of what you're being more disciplined about?
At first I was seeing myself just changing my environment, but I hung around. I went to a couple cookouts during the weekend and I was around people drinking and everything, and it didn't have the slightest effect on me. I wasn't even interested, you know, so yeah.
Right. Very good. I love it. Very good. All right. Is there anything that you need us to help you with?
No, I'm fine. I do have a question though, Your Honor. In August, I got a conference I go to every year in Florida, and I was just wondering, would I be able to go? I'd send the information in and make you aware where it is.
Well, you have to get with your case manager. Start now because there's some things that she has to get from you in order to present it to the team. And then the team will Ms. Harris will make a recommendation to the team, and then I'll make that final decision. Okay?
Okay.
But understand that you have to test. If your color is called, you have to test.
Okay.
All right. So get with Ms. Harris on that, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Anything else? Any other questions?
Oh, that's it.
All right. Ms. Harris, anything additional to report out as to Mr. Brown?
No, Your Honor, he's doing well. He's in compliance. He's been doing his testing. He's in treatment. He's working his program.
All right. Mr. Reed, Mr. Fikens?
Yes, Judge, thank you. Congratulations, Mr. Brown, a good report. You're working the program. We know it's not easy, but you're doing a good job. Keep up the good work, be safe, and remember our conversation. Thank you, sir.
Indeed, thank you.
And I'd like to add
All
to
right.
that, and I'd like to add to that, Judge, Mr. Brown, you're doing a great job. I love your comments, that you have more strength than you thought you did, more determination. It's just good to hear. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, Mr. Fikens.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. So, Mr. Brown, we're going to see you in person next week, Friday, right?
I will be there.
June 16th.
Correct.
It starts at 10:30 a.m. You need to get there a little bit before 10:30 so you can sign in. Okay.
Understood.
All right. Wonderful. Be safe. Have a great weekend. And
You
we
as
are here
well.
if you need us. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Mr. Thomas, are we ready on your client?
Did the interpreter arrive?
Oh, wait a minute. They said 2 minutes. Is the interpreter with us? All right. They told us 2 minutes. I don't see an interpreter, so hang tight with us. All right, very good. Mr. Hutchins never made it back.
I will go check on that, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Right, I understand.
Also, I need to get let me place LaQuisha Driver on the record, and you can bring that down as well. I have case number Z8080861 for LaQuisha Driver. Ms. Driver was scheduled to appear in person on today at 8:35 a.m. I am satisfied that I've given her ample time to appear. And so, Mr. Reed, Mr. Fikens, I am issuing a warrant for her arrest. The bond will be set at $5,000, cash or surety. Ms. Drew, in the ROA, please put that she is a part of specialty court. In parentheses, put DTC, and that she is not to be released without seeing Judge Holmes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, very good. And Miss, so you can get that warrant to me, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that would be great. I don't think you had any more that were warrants. No.
No, Your
You're
Honor.
good. All right, very good.
Your Honor,
Yes.
the interpreter is supposed to be signing in.
All right, we have our interpreter, Ms. Rahal. And so, Mr. Thomas, I hate to see you all waiting around for us. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for doing it pleasantly. I appreciate it. All right, let's go to Mr. Hussein Asadi. Good morning, Ms. Rahal.
Good morning, Your Honor. Samara Rahal, I'm sorry, interpreting for the court. Yes.
All right, let me have you raise your right hand. I'm ready for you. Thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
on.
Thank
All right,
you.
I have before me Hussein Asadi, case number strike that. Ms. Rahal, do you swear or affirm that you will interpret the words as spoken by the parties in today's proceeding, and that you will do so completely and accurately without any additions or deletions? So help you God.
I do, Your Honor.
Thank you. State your name as well as your qualifications.
Samara Rahal, interpreting Arabic for the court, state certified qualified.
All right, thank you. I have on this morning case number SP1404261 for Mr. Asadi. Please have Mr. Asadi state his name for the record.
سيد أسادي عمل معروف أعطينا اسمك للتسجيل.
I need you to speak right into that microphone.
بقلب السماعة اتكلم.
حسين الأسدي.
All right.
حسين
Thank
الأسدي.
you.
شكرا.
All right, Mr. Thomas, place your appearance on the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Thomas.
Let her interpret.
أعطينا اسمك. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
حسين الأسدي.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Thomas, place your name on the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Officer Joseph Thomas on behalf of the Probation Department.
الحضرة الجاستن توماس هو من إدارة المراقبة.
All right. And Mr. Fikens, you're representing Mr. Asadi on this morning, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
وسيد فايكن هو عم بيمثل سيد انت اليوم المتهم.
نعم.
محامي.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Officer Thomas, Please update the court with respect to Mr. Asadi and the probation that he was placed on.
عمل معروف السيد تامز احكي لنا بالنسبة شو حصل بالنسبة للمراقبة فترة المراقبة. Okay.
Your Honor, the defendant was placed on this non-probation term back on December 8th of 2022. He was to complete HIV testing and complete the John class. He also had a $240 fine that he has paid. I received proof of the HIV testing being completed today. It appears he somehow ended up at eBay for MMP. This morning, I physically handed him a flyer with the phone number, address, and other contact info for the Southwest Detroit Justice Center John's School. So he has the correct information now.
حضرة القاضي هو كمل واخذ فحص الدم تاع الاتش اي في وكمان دفع اللي عليه 250 بس ما عرف وين بده ياخذ الصف تاع جون. بس انا اليوم اعطيته ورقه بدله هلا صار عنده المعلومات وين والعنوان وين لازم ياخذ الصف بساوث ويست ديترويت.
Thank you, Mr. Fikens. Is there anything you want to add?
First of all, Judge, we want to apologize to this court for not having everything done by this date.
بدنا نعتذر منك انه ما كملنا كل شيء بهالتاريخ.
My client did pay his fines. He did obtain HIV testing.
اللي موكلني دفع التكاليف واخذ فحص الدم تاع الاتش اي في.
And he got somehow he got to eBay to do the schooling. I don't know if that was through another attorney or from somewhere else, but it was not the right place to go. And that was, of course, a failed attempt.
ما بعرف عن أي طريق بس دخل على مدرسة الإيباي بس هيدا ما كان الصف اللي كان لازم ياخذه.
I'm glad he attempted, Judge, but it was the wrong thing to do.
أنا كتير سعيد إنه حاول بس كان غلط إنه يعملها بهالطريقة هذا البرنامج.
He wants to do the right thing by this court, and he apologizes for his conduct.
هو بده يعمل كل شيء اللي لازم يعمله للمحكمة وبيعتذر إنه إذا تصرف غلط.
He humbly asked for more time to complete the John's class.
وهو كتير بيتمنى منك إنه تعطيه وقت يكمل هذا الصف الجونز.
So he can demonstrate to this court that he has respect for this court and wants to follow the court orders.
علشان يقدر يتصرف ويثبت لهاي المحكمة إنه هو بده يلحق القوانين اللي أمرته الحاكم بهالمحكمة.
Thank you, Judge.
شكرا حضرتك.
Okay, so what I'll do, you are required to do the prostitution offenders class at Southwest Detroit Community Justice Center.
سيد أنت مطلوب منك تعمل هالصف تاعو بساوث ويست ديترويت الجالية المركز الجالية. Okay?
I'm going to give you additional time to get that done because you've made some effort.
أنا راح أعطيك وقت زيادة لتخلص لأنك كنت عم تحاول.
اوكي بس قولي لي يعني بس بالمدرسه السكول يعني انا جيت رايح سكول ورحت سكول ورجعت يعني نطوني السيرتيفيكت مال سكول يعني انا ضاعت يعني 2 hours.
I did watch 2 hours schooling and they gave me a certification. Is that wrong?
That
wrong
wasn't
one.
the class that I sent you to. Sorry.
هيدا مش عفوا ما هيدا مش الصف اللي كان بدها اياك تاخده.
The glass from Las Vegas, he showed me the video for some people who work in the hotel, the girls working in the hotel.
No, I sent you to Southwest Detroit Community Justice Center for
That's
a
why I
reason.
don't understand somebody give me the address.
I understand. So I'm gonna give you more time to do it, but you're gonna have to do it the way I ordered it.
I swear I'm tired my life because I have diabetes. I work every day. I fix the car. I don't have time myself.
Sir, you also solicited for someone for an act of prostitution with your diabetes, with your job, and all of these other things. So here we are. You've got to do it the court's way, or you can go to jail for 45 days. Which one do you want?
I want to go to jail. I want to kill myself because I have 3 kids.
Do you want to go to jail for 45 days or do your class?
If you want to send me to jail, I want to kill myself. I have 3 kids.
رد عليها عم تسألك إذا بدك تروح على الحبس ولا بدك تكمل الصف إلا بدك تكمل الصف شو بدك تعمل؟
نعم أكمل الصف بس أنا بدي أفهمها بدي أروح على الحبس أقتل نفسي. يعني ما عندي أحد عندي بالفاميلي يسوق سيارة عندي 3 أطفال.
Oh no, I have a family. I don't want to go to jail. I want to finish the class because the family only has 1 car and they all need me.
Okay, I was misunderstanding him because I was about to send him to jail. Okay, all right.
أنا ما فهمت عفوا.
That kind of Friday. All right. So, sir, I'm giving you additional time to finish to do the class I ordered you to take.
طيب أنا راح أعطيك وقت لتكمل هالصف ولا يهمك.
And it's at the Southwest Detroit Community Justice Center. You have that information now.
وهلا عندك المعلومات إنه موجودة ب Southwest Detroit.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to schedule your next review for July 31st. I'm giving you plenty of time to get it done. July 31st.
شهر 7 يوم 31.
And you'll see me again on July 31st, 2023 at 10 o'clock a.m.
بتشوفني بشهر 7 يوم 31 الساعة 10 الصبح. بهالفترة خلص هالصف وبتنتهي. Okay.
And if you finish the class and you've given the certificate from Southwest Detroit Community Justice Center to Mr. Thomas, then you can appear on Zoom, okay?
إذا كملت الصف فيك تحضر على طريق الزوم مش ضروري تكون هون وأعطيت الإثبات للسيد تامس خلص بتروح على الزوم وخلص بتنتهي. Okay? Okay.
All right. Very good. Do you have any questions?
Thank you so much.
And
Thank you.
all right.
All right. You're very welcome. All right, Mr. Fikens, he'll be back, and Mr. Thomas, he'll be back on Zoom because he's going to get it done on July 31st. Thank you so much, Ms. Rahal. Thank you, Officer Thomas, for your patience. You all have a great weekend. You too, Mr. Asadi.
Thank you,
bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
And as a side, Your Honor, I just want to say, if Mr. Maslin's still there, I'm happy to see that he's graduated. I did his PS9 2 years ago. I remember his face from when I did his PS9 2 years ago, so it's nice to see that he graduated.
Did you hear that, Mr. Maslin? All right.
All right.
Yes.
It's good to see a good ending for once, so I'm happy about that. Thank you, Your Honor. You all have a good weekend.
You too.
You do the same. All right, Miss Cleveland, Mr. Shaw has joined us. Good morning, Mr. Shaw.
Thank you.
Then he needs to go up and test. Is that correct?
Well, I know that AverHealth is on and they have another hearing at 10 a.m. in another courtroom. So that's why I believe she has been on for a little bit.
Okay, he just has to test before he leaves. Are we ready? Do we have the prosecutor for the hearing? Do we need the prosecutor for the hearing for Mr. Shaw?
I'm not sure, Your Honor, but
then let's call for the prosecutor.
Okay.
Let's just call for the prosecutor. And so we'll do Mr. Shaw's hearing. Mr. Yancey should also know that Toye Milton is here if he doesn't know already.
Yancey's in the court.
Oh.
Should I have on a breakout room with?
One of the attorneys? Yes. Who will go in the breakout room with Miss Milton?
I will, Judge.
All right, very good. Miss Milton, you'll go to the breakout room, to the conference room. All right, Mr. Griffin?
No, I was just saying, can we be placed in the breakout room? So we're fine.
Oh, wonderful. Ms. Wilson, place the conference room and Mr. Reed in a breakout room for Ms. Milton. All right. And so, were you able to get a prosecutor?
Yes, she'll be zooming on super soon.
All right, wonderful. And then we'll do Mr. Shaw's hearing. And then Mr. Hudgens, you finally made it back.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Who has Mr. Hudgens?
I do.
Miss Harris? Where I hear you? Oh, I'm like, I don't hear you on Zoom. Where are you? Miss Harris, this was for a check-in, is that correct? And he started his log, his consumption log? All right, and so has he tested since the last time I've seen him?
Yes, he has, Your Honor.
Have you gotten those results?
I've gotten results from tests since then that were negative. I have not gotten the results from today yet.
All right, so this is what we'll do, Mr. Hudgens. I'm not gonna hold you up, because I don't know about y'all. I don't want to be down here when the folks get festive today, because they gonna turn up now. Let me just tell you, they are going to turn up. They've been turning up since yesterday, so they're gonna turn up today. All right, so for Mr. Hudgens, case number 220-600-1101, Mr. Hudgens is in the courtroom. He has tested today. He tested yesterday. We haven't gotten those results back yet. He is in compliance with his consumption log. You're going to continue, state your name for the record.
My name is Donald Hudgens.
All right, thank you. And so, Mr. Hudgens, you're going to continue to maintain that consumption log until further order from the court. Now, what I need you to understand is you must put everything in that log.
Yeah.
Everything that you put on your skin, everything that you smoke, drink, eat,
okay.
Because if you test positive, and we turn your consumption log over and they say nothing on here will cause them to test positive, even if it comes back confirmed as a negative, you're gonna be in trouble. It's gonna be a problem.
I understand.
So we had someone just recently, wasn't putting what he took on his consumption log, and then wanted to tell us about it later, which was something he shouldn't have been taking, and he had to go to the Wayne County Jail. I don't want that to happen to you.
I'm not trying to go back.
I know, nobody trying to do that, and we're not trying to send you. Nobody wants you to be there.
I understand, but I didn't know, I'm just thinking I was supposed to put on there what I was eating. I didn't know I was supposed to.
Eat, drink, well, I just added the skin applications because this one person was saying they thought it was a product they were using. So now.
That was me.
Oh, well, you're the reason I added it, so, sir, come on.
That was me.
Yeah.
And she called me and told me the test came back negative.
Yeah, but you still need to write everything down in your consumption log, because you can't, here's the deal. You cannot test positive in this program, even if the subsequent test is a negative, a confirmation is a negative, because the positive indicates that you are using something that is causing the same effect as a drug or a substance that is prohibited in this program. So I do the consumption log so that we can have the scientists say, okay, is this, and I can tell you, don't use this right here. But you cannot continue in the program testing positive. It won't happen, can't happen, will not happen, not under my watch.
I understand.
All right. All right. Any questions for me?
No, I just wait for the, you want me to stay here?
Yes, sir, you have to stay till your test comes back. And then Ms. Harris, is there anything you need to add?
I just want to add, Your Honor, that I'm going to pull him aside for a moment and just kind of make sure he fully understands everything that needs to go into the consumption log again. But he did turn it in, and I'm just going to make sure that he has all of the necessary information to make sure it's complete and compliant.
All right.
Otherwise, he's compliant, Your Honor.
Wonderful. All right, Mr. Hudgens. So once we get your test results back, once you talk to Ms. Harris and we get your test results back, Ms. Harris will let you know when you're free to leave, give you the clearance. And so I want you to know that your next date is next Friday in person at the Coleman Young Municipal Center.
10:30.
Get there before 10:30 so you can sign in.
All right.
All right, very good. Take care.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, let's keep going. Did we get a prosecutor?
Your Honor, I sent a chat as well. I'm sorry.
To me? Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I did not see it.
She just sent me a message, not the prosecutor.
Oh, okay. So would she be able to come back?
I'm not sure.
Your Honor, I'm still here. I'm just outside the court building right now for another court. I do have to go
Okay.
in shortly. I'm not sure how long you can wait because I'm not sure how long this will take.
All right. Well, listen, I want to get you on, and you can turn on your camera because I want to get your information. Mr. Shaw came late, so that might cost him that he'll have to be here on time for Monday because I'll keep him. All right. So let's call Mr. Shaw's case because I at least want to get that information on the record. And will Mr. Feigens, you can update the prosecutor when they come on. So, all right, I'm ready for Mr. Shaw. Yes. I have case number SP 111505151 for Daniel Shaw. Mr. Shaw, as you approach and state your name very loudly for me.
Daniel Enrique Shaw, Your Honor.
All right, good morning, Mr. Shaw.
Morning.
All right, and then Ms. for Averhealth, if you could place your name and title on the record for me.
My name is Carol Ace Thorpe. I'm supervisor at Averhealth.
All right, thank you so much for being with us on today. All right, Ms. Cleveland, I need the thumbnail of why we're here today for Mr. Shaw so that I can hear from Ms. Say your last name one more time. Ace Thorpe. All right.
Thank you.
Ace Thorpe. All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Cleveland.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Shaw, Daniel Shaw, is required to test 2 times a week randomly at Averhealth. He submitted to a urine screen on May 7th, 2023, Your Honor. The results of that screen showed that he tested positive for alcohol as well as for cocaine. Your Honor, I called him to determine what was going on, to ask him a question about what was going on. And he did indicate to me that he was not using, he has not been using, and that he was concerned about the viability of the screen, Your Honor. So after speaking with the team and making sure that I alerted the team that this was going on, that it was sent for confirmation, Your Honor. It took a few days for the confirmation to come back. When it did come back, the confirmation of the sample was confirmed as positive for the substance ETS, which is contained in the alcohol positive screen. There was a cocaine designation as well, that it was positive for cocaine. Another thing was that it was positive for a substance that is produced in the liver, that is what we sometimes refer to as the side effects or the derivative or something of being produced in the liver for use of cocaine, Your Honor. So those substances were found to be in that confirmed specimen. I will also like to say that Mr. Shaw had also tested positive for, well, he was dilute within the time frame of that screen as well. So that was something that I noted for his
when you say that he was diluted on when he did the screen on 5/7, May 7th?
No, ma'am, it was the 5/15 screen. I believe it was. After that there was a dilute, but that was a couple of screens after that.
He was diluted, which is
Yes.
a positive screen. When you're diluted, that's a positive screen. Okay, go ahead.
But I would like to say that prior to those samples having those positive results, there have been consistent negative screens, Your Honor, and subsequent to those screens, they were consistent negative screens as well. So I just want to report those as facts on his behalf, because I again have noted that there was a derivative that's being produced in his liver. I don't know the timeframes for how long or how much use has to take place for that derivative to appear or be testing, but it was just that one occurrence that I saw that happened. The subsequent one after the 7th was negative. The subsequent one after that test was the dilute screen. So Those are the
Thank you.
things that I know.
And Mr. Shaw, you are denying use, even though the tests all say that you're positive. You're denying use. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me hear from Ms. Athorpe.
Good morning. I believe the question was, he did not believe that it was his sample. I did send Miss Cleveland the actual pictures of the sample itself. It is sealed and it is in front of him, and we do not do anything with it other than ship it to the lab. So it is required that the seal be sealed and intact prior to the lab testing it. If it is not intact, the lab will not test it.
And they did test it, is that correct?
Correct, and it shows his COC sticker on the actual tube itself and also his initials.
And you saw them seal up this sample, is that correct, Mr. Shaw?
I think so.
No, you either did or you didn't. It's no thoughts about it. You've been in this rodeo too long, almost 2 years.
Your Honor, I've gotten so comfortable with the lady. She's there by herself that day, and I go in, I trust what they do.
But then how could you raise that you believe it was somebody else's sample if you weren't paying attention to your own sample? If I know I've tested positive for a substance, then why wouldn't you pay attention to what happened with your sample?
I trust them, I guess.
But you can't say I trust them and then turn around and say, well, they did something with my sample.
I never thought this would happen. Your Honor,
It's two inconsistencies.
it looks bad. I know it looks bad. I don't know what to say about it. I've never been in this situation before. I looked at my NA verification sheets, and I've been going through 2 meetings during that time, on that day, before that day, and any one of them signatures on there, they know me, and they're around me, they see me every day. You can call them up and they can verify that, Dan's been doing good, they got been part of the program, they're getting involved.
Okay.
I just don't know, it's just,
Give me a second, Mr. Shaw. I'm gonna come back to you because Ms. Athorpe is moving. Mr. Fikens, did you have some questions for Ms. Athorpe?
A couple quickly, ma'am, do you get a signature from somebody when they verify that sample in front of them?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I had to walk to the courthouse.
Understood. Do you get a signature from the person?
Yes, what we do is we actually get their initials, and it's entered on the seal, and the seal is placed over the cup.
Okay, and is the signature, you sent a picture of that signature to Ms. Cleveland, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Can you verify whether that's Mr. Shaw's signature? Do you know? I don't know that you know, but.
He verifies actually before they leave. We actually show them the tube and he verifies.
Okay, and then he signs his name after that?
No, he signs his initials and then we verify.
You said initials. I'm talking about signature.
He does not, they do not put their signature on the seal. They just put their initials on the seal because we also have their barcode sticker that has their full name and their ID.
Whose signature is that appears under where it says signature?
That signature would be our PCTs.
Thank you. Nothing further, Judge.
All right. Ms. Athorpe, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, just that everything is done in front of them and sealed. Even if she was by herself, she still goes after they finish. He lets her know, and then she reports in there and finishes the sample itself.
Hey.
All right. Miss, did you have any questions for Ms. Athorpe?
I just want to say one thing that a lot of times that I'm going in there, I put my initials on it and I give them the sticker and I walk out. Sometimes
that's your fault though. That's not Ms. Athorpe's fault.
She was there by herself. She wasn't in there with me, and I give it to her. And I think I don't know that day. It's been a lot that she's there all by herself, and she tells me she's swamped, she's miserable, you know, because she's all by herself. And I can't remember, you know, I set it on the counter, the thing, and then she goes back in and pours it in a cup, and then she seals it. And I guess I wasn't paying attention, but you know, that's how the procedure's been going. You know, like a lot of times I sign that tag, I give it to them. And she wasn't in there with me that day. I gave her the sticker, and then.
What do you mean she wasn't in there with you?
Because they usually watch, she was there by herself.
So no one watched you give the sample?
No.
All right, Ms. Athorpe, that's an issue. That's a problem.
Oh, correct, Your Honor. I have been hiring and they have left and not shown up. So now I'm in the process of hiring again. They have not called. And when that happens, we have no one else to call in the last minute because they don't give us actual time to get somebody else in there. So we are in the process of rehiring because we just had 2 other people not show up.
And I understand that, but when there's a staffing issue with the provider, it doesn't allow us to compromise the integrity of our program. If you're not able to satisfy best practices, which we are required to do, because that's how we get our funding, that's how we establish the integrity of our program. If you're not equipped to do that, then our people should be told, somebody should contact us, the case manager, the coordinator. We have 1,000 people here that can be contacted, and then let us tell our people, we've arranged for you to go test somewhere else. Because testing that is not in compliance with our program standards compromises the whole process. So if you all are willing to let him test without supervision, how can I now say, well, there's integrity with everything else that was done, when the sample collection itself was not integral? I can't do it. I can't do it. That's a problem.
I understand, and we will let them know. In this case, we had an issue and they were not able to, but that doesn't mean that it was not his sample. There's not other samples sitting around unattended.
I understand that, but do you understand what I'm saying? You all are not.
I absolutely understand that. I've been here 20 years, and
that goes against the integrity of the testing. So we already started off. I'm not saying your people did anything devious. I'm definitely not saying that, because I understand people just not coming to work. I get that. It frustrates the everything in me that people just don't want to work. Okay, so I get that, and I'm not at all disparaging anybody at Aver Health. But what I'm saying, for the position that Mr. Shaw is in today, is that when the sample collection is not within best practice standards, I'm already starting off with a deficit. Mr. Ficus, do you understand what I'm saying? I'm already, for me to now sanction him when nobody watched him even do the test, I can't do it. I want to sanction him, but I don't think it's fair to him. All right, Miss Athorpe, thank you for your time this morning. We will circle. I'll have the administration circle back to you.
I will let them know that we will let you know if we do not have somebody in there at all times now.
Yes, for all of our clients, call, reach out, so the case manager can give instruction as to what should happen, because they can come down here and test.
Okay, I will definitely do that.
Before 3:30, they can come down here and test. But to not follow best practices, that's just never an option for me.
I will let them know.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
John, mind if I say something else?
Yes, you may.
That I didn't mention. It's like, I mean, I trust these people, and she's a very nice lady. Sometimes after I pee in the cup, I bring the cup there and I set it down the counter, and there's another cup sitting there next to it sometimes. And it's still going on that she's there she's been by herself every other time.
Listen, let me say this to you, Mr. Shaw. I have already indicated that I am not going to sanction you when the process is faulty. But let me say this to you, and for everybody who's thinking and calculating that, oh, I'ma just say they did something wrong, you are responsible for making sure that things are happening the way that they should. You go to test at a site and they say somebody can't watch you, you need to speak up and say, this is not right. Let me call my case manager. I'm calling the courtroom. I'm doing something. If your specimen, you are supposed to be there to watch the handling of your specimen when you are getting a confirmation. If they are not, you're not doing that, then you need to be saying, wait a minute, there is a problem. Don't come to me 5 days, 3 days, 2 days, 1 day later, after I get a positive result or a confirmation. And now we're going to talk about the integrity of what's going on at that facility. So case managers, you all need to let your people know. This program is not about people babysitting you when you know that you are in a process, because that's not how life works. Now, I'm not going to hold you accountable for what somebody else does, but I'm going to hold you accountable for what you do in response to it. That's how it's going to work. So if you decide to go in there and use the bathroom and you know that you don't have somebody observing you, too bad for you. If you decide to put your urine specimen on a counter next to somebody else's urine and you know that it's unaccounted for, it's going to be too bad for you. That's how we're going to go with this. That's how it's going to go from this day forward. So for everybody that's listening, don't come in here with no bull crap about, oh, I put my specimen and they were by themselves and people just not working or whatever. I don't want to hear it. Everybody in this program is an adult. And there is no way, I'm a grown adult. When I go to the doctor and I give blood, I watch what they do with my blood, because I don't want y'all taking it and doing anything else with it that shouldn't be done. Because I am an adult and I realize that my blood can implicate me in a number of things, that any bodily fluid from me can implicate me in a number of things. So I watch that process, not because they told me, but because that's what I do. And I'm expecting you all to do it as well. You all need to be cognizant of the process and follow it. I'm gonna say this to you as well, Mr. Shaw. If you are using, it's going to come up. You had a diluted test. That is a positive test. It's going to come up. Listen, I'm not concerned about punishing you. You ought to know that better than anybody else. I want you to get the help that you need so that when you leave this program, you are able to thrive. The substances that you came to this program using, the substance that showed up in your test, you will not thrive in life using those substances. My goal is to see you not just thrive to get through a court proceeding, but to see you thrive in life. I want to hear about Mr. Shaw 5-10 years ago, that he's doing some incredible things, that he's doing some wonderful things with his wonderful self. That's what I'm trying to prepare you for. So let me tell you, if you play in a game, if you try to fool somebody, you won't ever fool me. You know who will be fooled? It's you. You will be fooled in thinking that I can use that substance and still thrive in life. And what you will find is you will be back in a process like this, or you'll be 6 feet under. That's really where this ends up at. 6 feet under or in the criminal justice system. So, Mr. Shaw, today you're going to get a pass for the positive screen, not for the diluted, but you're going to get a pass for the positive screen because there was an issue with the testing facility. That's what you're going to get today. But I need you to do some real self-searching, because while I'm giving you a pass today, sir, you can't give yourself a pass. This will catch up with you. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, very good. Anything else for me?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Cleveland, I need to speak with Mr. Fikens, not Mr. Fikens, with Mr. Wade and Mr. Morgan immediately regarding this issue. This is a huge issue for me. It's a huge issue for me. And so listen, he had a diluted screen. I don't know if he was on your graduation list. We'll talk about that. But a diluted screen is a positive screen in this court's view. And so for that, Mr. Shaw, I'm gonna hold you today for a little while. I'm gonna hold you. I'm not gonna send you to jail. I'm gonna hold you. But while I'm holding you, I do want him to speak with Miss Price today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let me just make this note. Speak with Miss Price. And then I need you to do some soul searching, some self-searching. Because if anybody knows, you know I am not interested in punishing you for use. I'm interested in connecting you with the appropriate resources to get you help. Mr. Shaw, if anybody knows that, you should know, because we haven't been here. We've been here more than one time, right? All right, so you're gonna speak with Ms. Price today. I'm holding him for the diluted test. And then his next court appearance is going to be for our specialty court ceremony, which will be on June 16th, 2023 at 10:30 a.m. at the Culminate Young Municipal Center. Ms. Knight. All right, so have a seat till we can, likewise, have a seat until we can get you to Ms. Price.
And Your
Ms.
Honor.
Cleveland, make that happen.
Yes, Your Honor. May he go test and come right back because he didn't drop before court.
Yes, I need you to go test, Mr. Shaw. I need you to go test. All right, very good. Yes.
I'm ready on Miss Milton, and before we begin, I would ask that the court could have a sidebar with Miss Milton.
And Judge, Mr. Morgan.
Mr. Green? Mr. Green? I hear you, Mr. Griffin. Give me 1 second. I don't know if you are on, if you've received the information from the log that your client provided, but she has a real problem. So she needs to be, once I finish with Mr. Yancey and them, because this is their day, she needs to go, Ms. Adams is gonna need to go into that breakout room, and she is going to have to speak with an attorney. Go ahead, Ms. Taylor.
He's mine, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't assign him. Oh, he has Mr. Reed. He has Mr. Reed.
Yes.
I Mr. Green. I could, if I could have seen your face, I would have been able to know it wasn't your case. You got that mask on. All right. So, Miss, your client has problems today, so she's gonna have to make it to that breakout room and speak with an attorney because she's got problems today. Okay.
Okay, you said they are in the room right now.
Yes, they are in the room. I think we're getting ready to do Miss. Are you all still in there with someone? No. Oh, no, it's free now. Oh, Miss Milton is back in the box. Yep, it's free. Mr. Morgan, I need to speak with you. I have a huge issue. And you know, when I have fire coming from my ears, I've been burn the whole building down. So I gotta let it go. I gotta let it go. Gotta let it out.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Does somebody have the Zoom up in the room, or do I need to come down and set her up?
It's up.
Okay.
It's up. And I think they're in a breakout room already, right?
I know Ms.
so
Warfield wanted to do her case. So I mean, I can let her know to hop on.
I think she's on. So Miss Wilson, place Miss Warfield, Miss Taylor, and then the conference room in a breakout room. Mr. Green, did you have something for me on Marcus Reed?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Okay. I gotta get this out because I'm gonna sound like I'm fussing at y'all. Please let me talk to Mr. Morgan because I'm gonna sound like I'm fussing at y'all. And I'm really not, because y'all some wonderful, incredible, beautiful, lovely people.
Ms. Villarreal, check your chat, please.
Will do. Thank you.
Who needs the sidebar? With,
That's what Attorney Reed.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Ms. Milton,
Yes, oh, Miss Milton, you asking for a sidebar, Miss Milton?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, Mr. Reed, your client's asking for a sidebar. You good with that?
yes, Judge, no objections. We talked in the breakout room. There were some personal things that she didn't want to place on YouTube.
Absolutely. Okay, no problem. Mr. Drew, can you mute? Good morning, Miss Villarreal.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good to see you.
Mr. Reed, sorry, I'm calling you. You must be using your phone. Is that right?
Yeah, give me a call. Call me. I'll pick up.
Miss Wilson, could you please place me and Kashawn Adams in a breakout room? Thank you.
Mr. Fikens?
Yes, sir.
Is there a retained on that case?
No,
No?
no. Mr. Reed, did we lose our interpreter?
I don't see Miss Villaroo.
You're gonna have to turn the sound back up too.
Do we need the prosecutor? Or did we get a recommendation already?
We didn't give a recommendation. I'm not sure what. I wasn't able to talk to Mr. Reed about what his
All right,
thoughts
let's go
were.
on the record.
Okay.
All right, I'm ready on Toye Milton, case number Z 8000982 and case number Z 8081261. Ms. Milton, state your full name for the record.
Toya Milton.
All right, thank you. Mr. Reed, Mr. Fikens, and Mr. Yancey, I've had a sidebar with Ms. Milton where she has shared some things with this court that I'm not going to disclose on the record. However, as I indicated to Ms. Milton, my concern is that she was in my courtroom on which day?
It was May 30th.
On May 30th. And I asked her at that time, as I do all of our participants, are there any issues or concerns that you need to raise with the court or that you need the court to address? Ms. Milton sat on that screen and she told me nothing, knowing that she had a screen that was going to come back that would not be a favorable screen. And so on today, that's what I'm addressing. I understand that people, that's why they're here. They're gonna have slip-ups. That's why they're here. But honesty is what I require, because when you're honest with me, I can help you. When you're not honest with me, then I can't help you. And the thing, Ms. Milton, with you is that I know you want the help. And so I need you to be honest, because I should say you have to be honest and you have to want the help. And so I know you want the help. Your past record shows it, but you got to be honest with me. And you weren't honest with me. And that's my problem on today. I indicated to Ms. Milton that jail time was on the table because of her dishonesty. But what I'm going to do, Mr. Reed, Mr. Fikens, there's an appointment I want her to get to at 11:30. And so here I go again, taking into consideration other people's things when they, this could have all been taken care of on that day that I asked you. If you have any questions or concerns or issues that you want to raise with the court, and you said no, but nonetheless, I'm not going to punish somebody that's an innocent bystander. I want you to get that appointment in, but I am going to place her back on that sober link.
I was going to recommend that she be on an alcohol teller.
Yes.
And that she be on the alcohol teller until after the Labor Day holiday.
Okay. I'm gonna put you on the alcohol teller. What you want to say?
I was gonna request the sober link due to my job.
What? The alcohol tether is on you. What does that have to do with your job?
Me actually wearing the ankle tether, that's why I was requesting a sober link. I've always been accurate with the sober link when I was on it previously before. I've never had any miss.
Has she been on the sober link before?
I know she's been on that alcohol tether before.
No, I've been on the sober link before. That's the blowing machine, correct?
Yes.
We recommend the alcohol tether, yeah.
Okay, you recommended the tether. Mr. Reed, Mr. Fikens, anything you want to add?
Judge, I did go into the breakout room with Ms. Milton. I respect her honesty. I have no objections to the court's order today.
Was she honest today? She wasn't honest in her earlier hearing.
Oh, yes, Judge. She was honest today. Thank you, Judge.
All right. All right. I'm going to have to do why are you requesting? I'm just curious, Mr. Yancey, the tether.
I think that with the tether, there's never any issues of you don't have the device, you overslept when it was time, when the device went off. It's less likely to have violation hearings where I just didn't hear it, or I took a nap, or it was noise. Whereas the alcohol tether is on you physically, and there's no issues with keeping up with it.
All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. If I'm gonna play, now, I saw you just cut your eyes at Mr. Yancey. We talked about Mr. Yancey when you first came in that sideboard, right?
Yes.
All right, and I told you how I'm gonna respond to you if you and I don't need to regurgitate that conversation, right?
Yes.
All right, it still stands today until death do us part, okay?
Yes.
All right, very good. And so this is what I'll do. If I put you on the sober link, I'm gonna hold a day of jail in advance. And that means if you don't blow, if you miss a test, if it doesn't read accurately, anything, you automatically go into jail for a day.
Okay.
So, Ms. Yancey,
That's fine, Your Honor.
all right, I'll do the sober link. I'll do the
Thank
sober
you,
link.
Your Honor.
But I'm also, let the record reflect, Mr. Reed, I'm also going to hold 1 day of jail in advance. Okay?
Yes, Judge.
All right, but she can get the sober link. How quickly can we get her to that sober link? She can go pick it up, right, from house arrest?
Yes, well, I can contact house arrest and she can go pick it up.
All right, so here's what I want you to do. You tested here already?
Yes, I have.
All right, so go to your appointment and then you need to be to pick up that sober link before what time, Mr. Yancey?
Before 5.
Before 5. You must have it today. If you don't get it today, you're in violation of my court order.
Okay.
Okay, so I need you to get it today for me, okay?
Okay.
All right, any questions or concerns for me?
No, at this time.
All right.
Thank you again.
All right, now you heard me say, any questions, concerns, issues, anything for me?
No, Your Honor, not at this time.
All right, very good. Your next court date is going to be June 16th, 2023. The ceremony starts at 10:30 a.m. Please don't wait until 10:30 because I'm removing the sign-in sheet at 10:30 because we starting promptly at 10:30, okay?
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, very good. Make sure you get the information from Mr. Yancey as to where you need to be.
Okay, thank you.
All right, very good. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Reed. All
Yes,
right,
sir.
let's keep going. Mr. Green, you have something? No. Yeah, Mr. Green, are you still with us?
He's coming back to his computer, Your Honor.
All right, who do you have? Oh, you have Miss Adams. All right, Mr. Green, you had something on Marcus Reed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, what did you have for me?
So I have spoken to the facility that he was going to be admitted into. They are able to get him, but it will be on Monday at 1 p.m. They'll be able to come up to the courthouse and get him if he is dressed out from the Wayne County Jail. I have coordinated with the Wayne County Jail, and they said that the only thing that is needed from the court is to send an order to say that he is supposed to be transported to the courthouse on Monday. I've also contacted house arrest and they will be here to provide a tether sometime in the morning between 9:30 a.m. and 10 a.m. And yeah, once that's all completed, we should be good to go.
All right, very good. So let me place this on the record. I have case number U557755620, case number SP135844881, case number U5636342, case number 194711221, and case number 207099991 for Marcus Reed. Mr. Reed is in the custody of the Wayne County Jail. And so, Ms. Drew, I needed a minute to go over to the Wayne County Jail, indicating that he is to be dressed out with his belongings and brought to 36th District Court. And that treatment there's some language that has to go on there, treatment to be paid for by DWIN or 36th District Court, DWIHN. And he is to be, yes, and then we'll go from there. That's all they need from us right now, right, Mr. Green?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very good. And so get that over to the jail and put him on my docket for Monday, June 12th. 2023, and let's put him on for 8:30 a.m. and let's see if the jail can get him over really early. All right, Mr. Green, does that resolve everything?
Yes, Your Honor. And I also have one more matter in the courtroom. So
all right, give me a second. You all need to get a prosecutor for me because I have to have a prosecutor for Mr. Campbell. Yes, for Mr. Campbell.
Will do, Your Honor.
And for all right, very good. And then Ms. Warfield, good morning to you.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
I am well. Are you all ready on Miss Adams, and do I need a prosecutor?
We may need a prosecutor. I am ready for her though. But if Mr. Campbell is in the courtroom, can I please speak with him in the conference room?
Yes. All right, while they're securing a prosecutor, let's get Mr. Campbell set up. Good morning, Mr. Campbell. Let's get him set up for the conference room. And then Ms. Wilson, if you can place Attorney Warfield in the conference room in a breakout room, that would be great. All right. And then there is a Kenny Alexander. Does that ring a bell for anyone? I'm gonna need you to look him up, Ms. Drew, when you get a chance. Kenny Alexander.
Judge, I have a Mr. Lopez Chavez. I believe that's Miss Harris's case.
Yes, and he's here on those, just for those tickets. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge, we have a recommendation. We can either put them on the
Can you turn on
record
his camera?
or another day, but we don't have Miss Villaroo. We need an interpreter.
Oh, Miss Villaroo left us?
I don't see her, Judge. We have a recommendation to dismiss one ticket and put the other ticket on the order.
Okay, very good. But then he had a civil infraction that I needed him to pay. Did he pay it?
I don't know, Judge, because we don't have the interpreter. I don't know if he has.
Oh, that's right. Okay. All right, and Miss Walker is coming in now. And Ms. Villaroo is zooming in now. Thank you so much, Ms. Dion. All right. We've got several things on deck for you, Madam Prosecutor. All right, I see hands up. Yes, Ms. Warfield.
Your Honor, there's a Mr. Shaw in the conference room. I'm not sure if someone else was supposed to speak with him.
That's Miss Cleveland's case.
Oh, they're putting it together.
Okay, perfect.
All right, Mr. Campbell is going in now. All right. And then Miss Harris, you have your hand up.
Yes, I just wanted to remind the court that once we're done dealing with Mr. Chavez Lopez's case, he also has a face-to-face that I need to do with him and the interpreter in a breakout room.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the reminder. All right, Ms. Villaroo should be coming on shortly. All right. Are we ready on Daisha Adams? Oh,
Yes, Your Honor, I have Ms. Rogers.
She's in with Mr. Campbell, the defense attorney. Ask her to pop out and let's do Ms. Adams. And then she can go back in with Mr. Campbell. Because I don't want to hold the prosecutor up because, well, you might be going to the Taylor Swift concert, right?
Oh, I am.
I
Very
see
excited.
You
I'm not going.
I'm not either. I'm trying to get out of here. Oh, it's not Bruno Mars now. Listen, we would have started court at 6 o'clock a.m. if it was Bruno Mars, because the concert started at 6 p.m. and I need to be there at 12 noon to get ready for Bruno. I love Bruno Mars. Absolutely. Do you all know I have a drawing of him in my office, the two of us together? Someone did for me, and it's like my favorite picture in the whole world. Like my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely on the bucket list. But Judge, what about Kim? We need to go to leave early. See? We love the local artists. Love the local artists. Okay.
I tried to stalk him at the last concert and he brought it in his canary yellow suit and I loved it. He brought it. I love, oh, now you know, you just made my heart melt when you said, I have a picture of Kim in my office too. That's on the wall. If y'all haven't seen it, I have a canvas picture of Kim as well. Listen, my next life and then my next one. Okay. I'm just, just planning ahead. That's all. All right. I guess we got to do some work. What do you want, Mr. Reed? Make us do some work.
May I go into a breakout room with Mr. Villaroo and Mr. Chavez to discuss the offer.
Yes, let me swear Ms. Villarreal in very quickly. Ms. Villarreal, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that you will interpret the words as spoken by the parties in today's proceedings and that you will do so completely and accurately without any additions or deletions, so help you God?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Thank you. Please state your name as well as your qualifications.
Evelyn Villarreal, certified court interpreter.
All right, thank you, Ms. Villarreal. And so if you could give Mr. Chavez instructions to accept the invitation to go into a breakout room with Mr. Reed and yourself, that would be great.
Yes, Your Honor. Señor Chavez. Señor Chavez.
Sí.
Lo vamos a pasar ahora a una sala de consulta privada con el juez, con el abogado defensor, el abogado Reed. Va a recibir una invitación por la pantalla que dice join o reúnase. Toque ahí para que pasemos a la sala todos juntos, ¿ok? Avíseme cuando ve la invitación.
I think he went.
Wonderful. All right. Did Miss Warfield come out to do Miss Adams?
I tried texting her, Your Honor, but she didn't respond yet.
Okay. Oh, I think that was some crack and sizzle today. Okay, all right.
And Your Honor, in this interlude, if I just
I'm sorry?
Just to let the court know, the 1045 is here for the trial. I know it's still early yet, and but just wanted to let the court know
They are here.
that the defendant's here. I don't believe the police officer.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Walker, you should know, Prosecutor Walker, that Officer Gunther did call the court and spoke with Ms. Drew. He indicated that he has been called out to a homicide and that he was recommending the dismissal of the matter because he has no recollection.
That's fine, Judge. We can call the matter. I have no objection to that.
All right, let's do it. Can you get Mr. Fikens, ask your client to turn on his camera.
Thank you, Judge.
Keyshawn Adams. All right. I have the following matters for Keyshawn Adams. Case number 195-016061. Case number SP 106-8190. Counts 1, 2, and 3. Case number SP 107-7194. Counts 1 and 2. Mr. Adams, please unmute and state your full name for me.
Keyshawn Nigel Adams.
All right. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
All right. Ms. Walker for the people.
Shannon Walker, P 53794 on behalf of the people. Judge, I just have an initial question. On the docket sheet, it shows Nasser as the attorney. Is this a retained case?
No, it's not. It was put in there by error because Mr. Nasser was representing a different Keyshawn Adams.
Oh, got it. Okay. And then Mr. Fikens, I guess it's your appearance time.
Robert Fikens, P31894 on behalf of Keyshawn Adams.
All right, Mr. Fikens, given the information that was provided to the clerk on this morning, your motion.
Judge, we moved to dismiss. The officer indicated that he had no recollection. Certainly, we're not moving to dismiss because of his lack of appearance. He had no recollection. I hope I said that right for the prosecutor.
Yes, Judge, people have no objection to a dismissal for lack of recollection.
All right, thank you. The matters are dismissed without prejudice. Thank you, Mr. Adams.
Thank you, Judge.
All
Thank
right,
you.
bye-bye. You're welcome. All right. Ms. Drew, a couple of things I need you to look up for me. I need you to look up this Alexander Kinney. I don't know what that's about. And then check to see if under the 1030, the first two, if they paid. Well, the one is an adjourn and pay and one is a review. So it looks like he may have paid the other. Okay. And let me know when I can call him. You ready, Ms. Warfield, on Ms. Adams?
I am, Your Honor. I am so sorry. And just so
Oh, no,
you
that's
court
okay.
knows, we're ready on Miss Adams and Mr. Campbell. So that way we can get our prosecutors ready.
All right.
Thank you, Ms.
Let's do
Warfield.
it. We're gonna
No problem.
Thank you. Let's do Miss Adams. Let's go. I have the following. For Dacia Adams, case number Z8082801 for the people.
Good morning, Sydney Rogers for the people, P82072.
Thank you for defendant.
And good morning, Your Honor, Attorney Jessica Warfield, P85391 Specialty Court Defense Counsel.
Thank you, Miss Adams. State your name. Talk into that microphone for me. Thank you. And then Miss Taylor, place your appearance on the record and then tell us why we are here.
Yes, Jasmine Taylor, Specialty Court Case Manager. We are here on today as a continuation for Ms. Adams. She did appear in our court just on Wednesday, June 7th, as a result of a positive reading on a scram tether that was dated on May 28th, 2023. So on that date, the scram bracelet detected alcohol use at 11:05 a.m. This event reached its peak. This event reached its peak of 0.046 at 8:46 p.m. and slowly decreased until 1:21 a.m. on May 29, 2003, the next day, where the event's readings were finally lowered to 0.000. And this event was confirmed by both the manufacturer and the house arrest services as a drinking event. Since that time, Ms. Adams did submit possible items that could have that she believes could have resulted in the positive scram readings, such as hairspray or wig sprays and things of that nature. These items were forwarded to the house arrest staff, who did verify that using sprays or things like that would not show up as a consumption. It would have been a momentary at best and then dissipated quickly. Also, on that drinking event, a confirmed drinking event date of May 28th, Miss Adams at first did report that it could have possibly been from chemicals used at her job, but then she did verify to myself as well as house arrest that on Sunday, May 28th, she in fact was not at work, she was at church. So she was not at work around any of the chemicals. She also did submit to me a list of chemicals that she uses at her job, which I did get confirmation from Ms. Anderson, who reported again that those chemicals would not result in an actual consumption.
And then I just want to add from when she was here just recently on Wednesday, that Ms. Adams indicated that she has been on this job for 2.5 weeks. And she has not been testing positive consistently from these alleged chemicals, which now we know that they would not show up as a consumption. Who would like to address the court next?
Your Honor, I can. I did have an opportunity to speak with Ms. Adams today. Your Honor, she went through her entire day with me as May 28th of what she did, and she cannot come up with, in her words, what would have caused this positive reading on her scram tether. Your Honor, science is science, and I'm not a scientist, so I'm not going to play one for YouTube purposes either. We don't have an explanation for why this came up positive, but what I would like to shed light on, Your Honor, is just my client's history. My client has had a rocky history with this court, but since joining this particular specialty court, she has shown improved, which Your Honor has noted in regards to her honesty, in regards to just making sure she's putting her best effort forward. My client is very adamant and has been since being informed of this reading that she has not consumed any alcohol. She has brought up the fact that in the times that she has relapsed and she has made mistakes, we have been the first to know of it. She has made clear that she has gotten a job, retained housing, has really started her family because of the second chance that this court has given her, and she would not jeopardize that. Your Honor, she even stated that she knows that you don't play with her like that, and she doesn't want to disrespect you in any way. But she is adamant that she does not know where this screen came from. One thing that I would also like to put on the record is that we have changed our my client's resources in regards to her sessions and things like that. I believe this is the third switch that she's had now. She gave me permission to state this, where she just had her intake. She believes that where we have placed her now is where she needed to be all along. She's very excited about just the preliminary help and resources that she's gotten with her new provider, and is extremely excited to continue moving on with them. Your Honor, based off of all of that, and again, I know that science is science, but based off of the totality of the circumstances, what I'm asking for is that we allow my client to acclimate to her new services, and we hold 3 days in advance for a next violation. That is my recommendation at this time.
All right, thank you from the people.
Thank you, Judge. My recommendation is 3 days in Wayne County Jail, and this is based on everything that's going on, that this matter was adjourned out a few days. Ms. Taylor has done a thorough investigation of what has happened here, how we possibly could get a positive test. And from what the defendant is saying, it's just not supported in reality. That is not how the test, even if that did happen with the chemicals at work, that's not how the test would look. And also she wasn't at work. So that's another reason that tests wouldn't have registered positive, because it just couldn't have. She was at church. Whatever is going on with the sprays and things, I think Ms. Taylor also investigated that, talked to the facility, and that's just not how the positive test would look. I'm further asking for the 3 days because of the underlying charge. It's operating while intoxicated, which is a charge showing that there's an alcohol problem here. We have further positive tests. As part of my job is to help protect public safety. And because of that, that's why I'm asking for the 3 days in Wayne County Jail.
Your Honor, may I have a brief
right,
response?
Yes, absolutely.
A very brief response, Your Honor. I also like
And then I want to hear from your client, if that's okay.
Absolutely. I would also like to put on the record that subsequent to this reading, we have not had any positive urinalysis or scram readings subsequent to this, Your Honor. So just wanted to add that as well.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Adams, what do you want to tell me?
I want to tell you that I have not been drinking since the last time I told you.
Your test is positive. It's
don't know.
confirmed as alcohol consumption. Is there anything additional that you want to tell me?
I was not drinking that day that it's trying to say, all the way until the next day on the 29th. So that's not even making no sense.
No, what's not making sense is that the scram tether is the scram tether, ma'am. And if you were exposed to something on your job that was causing you to test positive, you wouldn't have just had one positive. And it wouldn't be registering as a consumption. That's the bottom line. It would not be registering as a consumption. It's registered as a consumption. So listen, you heard me earlier when I talked to Mr. Shaw. You can fool yourself all day. You're never going to fool me, because at the end of the day, you're the person that's going to be impacted by the decisions that you're making. You are, whether it's with your job, with your housing, with your child, it's going to impact you. It's going to catch up with you. Even if it don't catch up with you today, it's going to catch up with you. So if there's a problem that's going on, and the only reason why I'm giving some consideration is because you have had to change providers. And so I'm hearing that you're in a good place and you're going to be open and honest with your provider. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So that you can get the help that you need. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So that's the only reason why, and that's through none of your doing, that you had to go to a new provider. And so you didn't cause that issue. And so I'm taking that into consideration. But here's the end of the day, Ms. Adams, you are never going to get me to believe that you did not consume. The test results show it. It's confirmed as such. And so you can talk until you're blue in the face. You're never going to get me to believe that. But what I will tell you is that because you're going, I'm going to give you an opportunity with respect to your new counselor, but you need to really be honest with them. You don't have to ever be honest with me if you don't want to. There'll be consequences assigned to it, unpleasant consequences, but if you like it, I love it. But you need to be honest with yourself. It makes no sense for you to spend the time that you're going to spend with us and not leave here a better you. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm just going to make the best of it. I'm going to leave a better me. I don't like the situation. I'm in it, but I'm going to leave a better me. You better believe it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep you today. I'm going to hold 2 of those days in the Wayne County Jail in abeyance. You're going to continue to be on that tether, on that scram tether. And if you have a violation, listen to me carefully. If you have a violation, if you miss a test, if you have a diluted test, if you have any interference on that scram tether, I'm talking any violation. You don't show up for your therapy sessions, you are going to automatically go to the Wayne County Jail for 2 days. No questions asked. Am I clear?
Yes.
What do you want to say to me?
I just wanted to say that since I first started this program, when you first said, if you don't be honest with yourself, you don't have to be honest with nobody else. And I'm telling you that I never, ever drunk nothing that day. So I'm just as puzzled as the rest of y'all is on why is it saying that I was drinking. And I know for a fact that I was not drinking on that day, especially that day all the way into the next day at night. No. I haven't been lying to you since I came in this program. So I'm not gonna start lying to you now. So I'm just telling you that.
Well, I'm gonna follow the science. I'm sorry, I have to follow the science, because if I stop following the science with you, that means I can't follow the science with anybody else. And that goes to the whole integrity. What are we doing? And what have we been doing for the last 25 years? No, ma'am. We're not gonna change the course of what we've been doing on one case. I'm gonna follow the science because the science works. And so I am going to have you a 1-day hold today. You'll do 2 days at the Wayne County Jail. Your next violation, any type of violation, you are to remain on the scram tether, and then you are to continue your consumption log. Continue everything you eat, everything you drink, everything you put on your skin. Okay? You'll continue to do that, and you have to provide that to Ms. Taylor every Friday by 3:30, before 3:30 p.m. Ms. Taylor should not have to ask you for it, call you for it, beg you for it. It is your job. And if you don't, that is a violation. And guess what? You've got 2 days of Wayne County Jail waiting on you. All right? Ms. Taylor, you need to come down and explain to your client what a consumption log is, okay? Or call her up on the phone or what have you. However you need to do it. Explain to her what a consumption log is, okay? All right, wonderful. Anything else for my consideration?
Nothing further from defense, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Sir, I don't know who you are, but see my officer. Did he do everything? It just looked like he was supposed to pay. He was just supposed to pay? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. All right, I'll call him and dismiss it. And I got no payment on either one. But why did I have this as a review for mine? Yes. Okay, that one's gonna be dismissed, right? And then the other one, he did not pay, and what's the balance on it? Oh, it doesn't matter, we're gonna reinstate. I'll put it on the record, reinstate the original charge, and then it goes into default. All right, very good. All right, if you all can indulge me just very quickly to do Ms. Villarue's case, and then I'll be ready on Campbell. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Yes.
My client has not paid the civil infraction. He was under the misunderstanding he was to pay it today. He is prepared to pay it today, but I don't know if the court wants to proceed since that has not been paid yet.
We can proceed. That's fine.
170. Thank you.
Yeah, we can proceed. Thank you. Can you get him to turn on his video, please?
Ms. Villarue, would you?
Señor López Chávez, por favor, prenda su video.
I'm sorry. Who was the gentleman?
He was the minister for Ms. Adams.
Oh, okay, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, we have no doubts that she was in church. We was concerned about what she was doing before church. Okay.
I gotta be honest.
Yeah, I know. Continue to work with her. She's a good girl. She is. She really is a good young lady. I shouldn't say girl. She's a really good young lady, but she has some things she's got to work through. She does. So thank you for your support. And I'm not certain who's with you, but thank you for supporting Miss Adams. All right. All right. Thank you. All right. Let's do it. Miss Villarreal has already been sworn in. I am going to now call the cases for Juan Chavez, case number SP 1259862, counts 1 and 2, and case number SP, no, not that one. I'm going to hold that one because I'm going to adjourn it to pay for another day. All right. If Mr. Chavez can put his camera on and state his name for the record.
Así que ahora vamos a proceder a llamar el caso del señor López Chávez y vamos a decir los números de caso. Número de caso 125-9862, cargos 1 y 2. El otro caso no vamos a hablar de ese ahora. Y el señor Chávez tiene su cámara prendida, ¿verdad?
Mr. Chavez, tell me your name.
Señor Chávez, díganos su nombre.
Juan López Chávez.
Juan López Chávez.
All right, thank you. Please raise your right hand, Mr. Chavez.
Gracias, señor Chávez. Por favor, levante la mano derecha.
I don't see his right hand up. It's like a still picture of him. I need his, oh, he just went out. Maybe he's got to come back in. All right, we'll get there. While they're doing that, I'm gonna keep moving. I have Kenny Alexander, case number U631063222, was scheduled for 10 o'clock a.m. It was a delayed sentence. Mr. Alexander has paid his fines and costs. This matter is being dismissed without prejudice. All right, and then I also have for Ahmed, I have case number SP 143-74701. He has also paid his matter, and so it is this particular matter is going to be dismissed without prejudice. And then I have for Mahmoud Ali, SX 420-95731, was scheduled to pay today by 10:30, was supposed to appear. If he did not pay, he has not paid or appeared. The original charge will be reinstated and a default judgment will be entered. All right, did we get Mr. Chavez back? Doesn't look like it. All right, Ms. Villarreal, I'm gonna give it a couple of more minutes and then I need to call the other matter.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, that might be him. There he is.
There he is.
All right. Okay. Is he connected? Yes. Mr. Chavez, please raise your right hand.
Señor Chávez, por favor, levante la mano derecha.
He has a bad connection. Oh, there he is. All right. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give will be the truth and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Señor, ¿jura usted o declara solemnemente que el testimonio que usted va a dar va a ser la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad ante Dios?
Sí.
Yes.
Thank you. You may place your hand down.
Gracias. Ya puede bajar la mano.
Mr. Reed, you may proceed.
Y señor, usted puede proceder.
Judge, there's a recommendation. If he pleads on the open alcohol driver, they recommend amending that to passenger and adding that to his specialty court order. And the recommendation is to dismiss the no-op with a stip to probable cause.
Sí, su señoría, tenemos aquí una recomendación para él de parte de la fiscalía. Si él está dispuesto a declararse culpable a que llevaba alcohol abierto, lado de pasajero, ellos lo van a reducir, lado de chofer, lo van a reducir, alcohol abierto, lado de pasajero. Entonces, el otro cargo de no tener licencia quedaría desestimado y él continuaría a participar en la Corte de Casos Especializados.
Judge, if I may, I will proceed with the waiver at this time.
Y si me permite su señoría, yo quiero ahora proceder con la dispensa en este momento.
Mr. Lopez Chavez, we talked about your right to a trial and you wish to waive your right to trial and enter a plea in this case. Is that correct, sir?
Señor López Chávez, nosotros hablamos de su derecho de tener un juicio y usted me dijo que estaba dispuesto a renunciar ese derecho de un juicio. ¿Eso es correcto, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
And no one is forcing you to plead in this case. This is a voluntary plea on your part. Is that correct, sir?
Y nadie lo ha forzado usted a que se declare de esta manera en este caso. Esta es una decisión voluntaria que usted ha hecho. ¿Es correcto, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
Judge, at this time, we'd ask the court to take a no contest plea. We stipulate to the face of the ticket to serve as the factual basis.
Su señoría, en este momento le pedimos a la corte que acepte una declaración de no disputa y vamos a estipular a lo que dice la boleta de infracción para formular la base para la declaración.
And that face of the ticket indicates that on the date and time of the citation, Mr. Lopez Chavez was operating a motor vehicle with open alcohol in that vehicle.
Y lo que dice la boleta de infracción es que en ese día, en ese momento, el señor López Chávez estaba manejando con alcohol abierto en el vehículo.
And we are pleading no contest to that. Is that correct, Mr. Lopez Chavez?
Y a eso nosotros nos estamos declarando que no tenemos disputa. ¿Es eso correcto, señor López Chávez?
Sí.
Yes.
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Yo quedo satisfecho, su señoría.
Right. I am accepting the plea of no contest to count 2 of this matter, and I am amending the charge to open alcohol in a motor vehicle as the passenger.
Así que voy a aceptar la declaración de no disputa al cargo número 12 de este asunto y voy a modificarlo a que tenía alcohol abierto lado de pasajero.
I am going to add this particular matter to the specialty court order, and so no fines and costs will be assessed to this one, with this one.
Entonces yo voy a añadir este caso a el programa de la Corte de Casos Especializados, así que no tengo que darle una fianza.
I am dismissing without prejudice count 1.
Voy a desestimar sin prejuicio el cargo número 1.
And this dismissal will remain in effect as long as Mr. Chavez successfully completes specialty court.
Y este caso queda desestimado. Se queda vigente hasta que el señor López Chávez haya completado exitosamente el programa en la Corte de Casos Especializados.
With respect to case number SP 134-32021, Mr. Chavez still owes the court $175, and I need him to get that paid as soon as possible. When can you get that paid, Mr. Chavez?
Y ahora con respecto al caso SP 134-3202, el señor López Chávez ha quedado a deber $175. Necesito que lo pague lo más pronto posible. ¿Para cuándo piensa usted que lo puede pagar, señor López Chávez?
Hoy.
Today.
Wonderful. Get it paid on today. I am going to put.
I'm sorry, Ana.
Go ahead.
Buenísimo. Páguelo usted hoy mismo.
All
right.
¿Me pueden mandar el formulario para pagarlo en línea o cómo?
Could you send me the form that tells me how to pay it? Can I pay it online or how do I pay it?
When you all go in the breakout room, Miss Harris, you can go through that with them, okay, Miss Harris?
Cuando pase usted a la sala de consulta con la señora Harris, vamos a revisar eso.
And if you need instruction, you can reach out to Miss Drew, who's here serving as the clerk.
Y si necesita más instrucción, usted puede comunicarse con la señora Drew, quien es la secretaria de la corte que está presente.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, very good. And so, Miss Drew, his next court date, I'm going to review this blockading traffic as well. On his next court date, he would have, it's going to be June 16th, 2023 at 10:30. Put the two specialty court cases on for 10:30. That's going to be SP 125-98622. You'll put that on for 10:30. And SP 134-32041. Put that on for 10:30. But then the adjourn to pay for the blockading traffic, put that one on at 8:35. Okay, so he'll get it paid.
Muy bien, así que señora Drew, la próxima fecha en la corte para él va a ser el 16 de junio del 2023 a las 10:30. También nos vamos a dirigir al otro cargo que estaba bloqueando el tránsito. Y estos dos cargos van a ser parte de la Corte de Casos Especializados. Me refiero a SP125-9862 y SP134-3204. Vamos a darle un aplazamiento para que él pueda pagar lo que le debe. Y para ese caso, vamos a escucharlo a las 8:35 de la mañana, ese mismo día, el 16 de junio.
Okay.
All right. At this time, I'm going to, Mr. Reed, was there anything else you needed from the court?
Oh, no, Judge, thank you.
Y señor Reed, ¿algo más que usted necesite de la corte? No, gracias.
All right. Ms. Wilson, I'm going to ask at this time if you could place Ms. Villarreal, Mr. Shabazz, and Ms. Harris in a breakout room. And once you all are finished, Mr. Shabazz is free to leave.
Señora Wilson, en este momento yo le voy a pedir que por favor pase al señor Chávez, a la señora Harris y al señor intérprete a una sala de consulta. Una vez que hayan terminado de hablar en esa sala de consulta, el señor Chávez se puede ir.
Thank you all.
Gracias a todos.
All right. Mr. Reed, Mr. Fikens, I think you're good. My last matter is with Ms. Warfield and the prosecuting attorneys. If you all could join us, we are going to do our last matter of the morning.
Thank you, Judge.
You all be safe. If you're coming for the concert tonight, be careful. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Mr. Reed wanted to, but I said no, we weren't going to do it.
I'll be looking for you, Judge.
I was looking for the pictures of Mr. Reed and his Taylor Swift get up. That's what I was looking for.
Yes.
Not today.
Yes. Not today. Have a good weekend, both of you. Thank you. You know we're on standby in the event something happens in specialty court. All right. Thank you.
Goodbye, everyone.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Are the parties ready on J. Rue Campbell?
Yes, Judge.
We are, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's do it. I have the following matters. I have case number SP 116-0104, counts 2 and 3. Case number SP 116-01071. Case number SP 1278775, counts 1, 2, and 3. Case number SP 1319053, counts 1 and 2. Case number SP 1396127, counts 1, 2, and 3. And case number SP 1396131. For the people,
Shannon Walker, P53794 on behalf of the people.
Thank you. On behalf of defendant,
Attorney Jessica Warfield, P85391.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Campbell. State your full name for the record.
J. Rue Campbell.
All right. Good morning to you again.
Good morning.
All right, Mr. Green, please tell us why we are here.
Yes, Your Honor.
I know that this is a termination hearing.
Yes,
There was a recommendation made for termination. There was no objection, at least from Mr. Green, as far as the recommendation for termination from the program from Mr. Campbell. And so, Mr. Green, just for purposes of making a complete record, I need you to go through the events.
Yes, Your Honor. So I appear in front of your courtroom today to recommend termination for Mr. Campbell based on his continued uncooperativeness with court orders and his unwillingness to not engage with illicit substances. Mr. Campbell was admitted into our specialty court program on January 3rd, 2023. On January 9th, Mr. Campbell was kicked out of a residential facility after being there less than 2 weeks for threatening the staff. After a brief stint at the hospital, Mr. Campbell was allowed back into that residential facility on January 20th. On January 23rd, it was reported that Mr. Campbell was smoking weed outside of the facility, despite knowing that the facility was a substance-free area. Additionally, it was reported that he threatened to kill one of the other residents at the facility. Because of his actions, Mr. Campbell was ordered to leave the residential facility immediately. On the 24th of January, 2023, Mr. Campbell appeared in front of Judge Holmes' courtroom to address his behavior at the facility and made threatening statements to her. Because of his actions, he was sent to the Wayne County Jail and was ordered to be reassessed by the staff at the jail. Mr. Campbell was incarcerated from a period of January 24th to February 15th, 2023. It was reported by the jail staff that Mr. Campbell completed his psych eval upon arrival. But it was also reported that Mr. Campbell engaged with a fight with another inmate at the Wayne County Jail on February 5th, 2023, where he was the aggressor. Upon release from the Wayne County Jail on February 15th and having a negative test when he appeared in front of the court, Mr. Campbell immediately tested positive on February 17th for THC during his psych eval at his outpatient treatment facility. It was also reported that Mr. Campbell was acting aggressively and combative toward the staff at the outpatient facility. Mr. Campbell addressed those positive screens and aggressive behavior on February 22nd, 2023, in front of Judge Holmes, and was informed that the court would work with him, but he had to be willing to work with us as well. On February 23rd, the next day, I informed Mr. Campbell that he needed to test. Mr. Campbell reported that he was unable to test because of his transportation issues. Mr. Campbell was also informed to come to the courthouse on the next day to test and be provided bus passes. On the 24th of February, Mr. Campbell was given bus passes and did test at the courthouse, which was positive for THC. Mr. Campbell did not test again until March 6, 2023, which was also positive for THC. Despite being instructed to and being provided with multiple options, on March 8th, Mr. Campbell was sanctioned for missing testing and giving a verbal admonishment in court. Mr. Campbell again failed to report for testing and was given another verbal sanction on March 16th. Mr. Campbell just consistently tested from March 16th to March 27th. On March 27th, Mr. Campbell quit testing again, and he informed me that there was no need for any probation because all he had was traffic tickets. A violation hearing was held on April 5th, 2023, and Mr. Campbell was sent to the Wayne County Jail and released the next day on April 6th, 2023. After being released on the 6th of April, Mr. Campbell began testing again with no issue, but consistently tested positive for THC each time. Mr. Campbell was aligned to meet with the addiction specialist on May 12th, 2023. However, Mr. Campbell failed to report and did not contact his case manager to let me know of any changes or any issues. Mr. Campbell was ordered to report in person on May 17th, 2023 for a sanction for missing his appointment. He was once again given a verbal sanction and was told to comply with his court orders. Additionally, Mr. Campbell's test from the 17th, when he reported to court, came back positive for alcohol and was sent off to the lab for confirmation. That sample that was sent off came back negative for alcohol, but was positive for THC, amphetamine, and methamphetamine. Additionally, Mr. Campbell's test from May 15, 2023 was also positive for methamphetamine and amphetamine. Mr. Campbell met with the addiction specialist on May 25th, 2023, and the specialist reported the following. He admitted to using illicit Adderall and alcohol in addition to marijuana last week before the appointment on the 25th. Mr. Campbell reported to the specialist about the court that they need to get out of my life and leave me alone. They're not listening to me, and I lost my job because the interview was the same time as a court hearing, and I had to go see them instead. They're just trying to jam me up. The addiction specialist also reported he repeated throughout the session that marijuana is legal and he doesn't see the problem with using it, and we can't stop him. The addiction specialist concluded that he is not capable of having insight that marijuana usage is harmful to himself and others. He expresses that he has no desire to discontinue use nor engage in treatment recommendations at this time. At this time, he is only complying with court requirements to avoid sanctions and is recalcitrant to engage in treatment efforts. It is unlikely that continuous outpatient therapy will benefit him in view of his past lack of engagement and insight. A rigorous long-term full inpatient residential treatment program with events, directives, and strict monitoring may be an option should he wish to truly engage and for direct transfer to long-term sober living for a year or more for continuity. She also reported that continuing current attempts at outpatient treatment will keep producing the same failures to engage in treatment. And also continuing use of non-authorized substances will keep him involved in illicit activity with a very real risk of personal violence, injury, and/or death, and may add to his criminal charges. And Your Honor, based on this information being provided today, I'm recommending termination. Given that Mr. Campbell has indicated that he does not intend to stop smoking, his issues with compliance, and the most recent confirmations of THC and unexplained methamphetamines and amphetamines, I'm concerned that we cannot provide Mr. Campbell with the appropriate level of care that he needs.
Thank you. Very well said. Who wants to address the court next?
Your Honor, I can. I did have an opportunity to speak with Mr. Campbell today, reminded him as to why we were here. And Your Honor, I simply asked Mr. Campbell if he wanted to be here. And Mr. Campbell surprisingly said yes this morning. I know that in the past few weeks, with the help of Ms. Walker, actually, we have gotten Mr. Campbell a mentor that he is extremely excited about. Comes from the same background as Mr. Campbell. They can relate on a lot of different things, and they've started to meet up. And that has gotten Mr. Campbell very excited about moving forward. I made it extremely clear, I don't think I could have made it any clearer, that his illicit drug use is an issue, and he can't just ignore us in regards to us requiring him to be compliant and stopping his usage of those substances. Mr. Campbell responded to me and said, you know what, I hear you, and I believe my levels are going to go down because I've actually slowed up. I don't know what that means. I don't know if his test occurred to that, but Your Honor, based off of the extensive record that Mr. Green has read, I'm not going to insult this court's intelligence. We have been on a roller coaster ride with Mr. Campbell since day one. But one thing about the specialty court is that we are strapped in and we have our harnesses on because we know we're going to go on these rides. Based off of what Mr. Campbell has told me today about him wanting to move forward with the program, about him wanting to continue, especially with his mentor that he has been linked up with, I'm asking that we keep him in the program.
All right, from the people.
Judge, this is...
Wait, before that, I just have one thing I want to say. I have to. Ms. Warfield, you know we have been down this road before with Mr. Campbell. You want to work the program, I'm gonna do it. And Mr. Campbell just won't do it. We are now 5 months in. I have 24 months of jurisdiction, and then that's it. You know, unless I can try to tax some COVID time and all of that, but I have 24 months of jurisdiction. I'm 5 months in. We're 5 months in. And he's gone to his sessions under the influence. He's said repeatedly he's not going to stop. He said that even here in court before to me. I'm not going to stop smoking marijuana. As you know, in this program, he can't. We're not changing the rules for Mr. Campbell. He is not the superstar of specialty court because we don't have any, okay? The most valuable player on this team is Mr. Green, is the prosecutor, is the defense attorney, is the coordinator. That's it. There are no MVPs here. So nobody gets any special treatment. I cannot lower the standards of the program or justify keeping him in the program with non-compliance. And he has said out of his own mouth, he doesn't want to do it and that he won't do it. And he's gonna smoke. And he's got an excuse for everything. Nobody's helping him. Nobody's doing this. Nobody's doing that. And listen, the only thing he hasn't said is what I'm willing to come to the table and do, and then actually do it. So I have to address that because 5 months, if I was my funding source and I went to review and I'm looking 5 months and this person has not even closely come into compliance, then I'm gonna start looking like, should I be giving you any money to run this program? Or are you treating people special and not holding them accountable? Because while we are specialty court and we do treat our people special, we do hold them accountable. And that's the part where I'm struggling with Mr. Campbell.
Absolutely, Your Honor. Completely understand.
Right.
Absolutely.
Let me hear from the prosecutor.
Yes, Judge, I guess in listening to what Ms. Warfield said, I guess that's my question to Mr. Campbell is he agreeing to stop smoking? He said he slows down, but is his agreement to stop using those substances? And I guess that would be the question that I would ask this court to ask Mr. Campbell in determining what my recommendation is for termination. Now that he has a mentor that's explained to him from a background that I think he feels understands him, and can maybe help him move forward with a lot of things. Does he understand that he would have to stop using, and do we have his agreement that he would stop? Because that's something he hasn't told us yet.
Mr. Campbell, that's a question to you.
To be truthful, like I told Ms. Warfield in the breakout room, I'm going to try to stop. I know that it's a habit, and I know that it's like a big habit, so I can't just sit here and say like, I'm going to stop. You know what I'm saying? But I believe that my levels did lower the last few times that I did test. I've been trying to slow down and stop.
Listen, Mr. Campbell, I understand that when people come to specialty court, you have a cannabis use issue. And so I understand that it's no different than anybody else's issue. I can't just say, if we could just say, push a button and say, stop, we wouldn't even exist, right? You'd be on probation one day. Everybody would be on probation one day. Because you walk through the door and I go down and I push the button that says stop using whatever you've been using, and everybody can go home and be happy. We know that doesn't make sense, right? Where my issue is with you is that you're saying, I understand you have a problem. Whether you understand that you have a problem or not, it is a problem. It has completely altered your life. And I understand that you're dependent on it. My issue with you is we are trying to equip you with resources to help you to stop, because that's what we're here for. And we can't even get you to do those things. We can't. You didn't show up for your first appointment with the addiction specialist. These are people that are going to equip you to help you stop. I'm not certain that where he is for his inpatient treatment is where I want him to be, because I don't think talking on the phone to a therapist is therapy. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Just call him when you get ready to call. That's not therapy. It's not therapy. You're never going to be able to work through anything just chatting on the phone whenever you get a chance. That's not therapy. Therapy is also about discipline. It's about interrupting the normal course of my behavior to help me to sit down and focus on some things that might make me a little uncomfortable, but so that I can come up with a plan to work through them, so that as I go on in life, I don't have to keep doing this, what seems like a revolving door. And so I can't even get you to do those things. So how do I help you to get you to stop the use? Because you can't use it in this program. We'll work to help you, but how do I get you to do the work? Because you won't do the work. Is that your answer? Just terminate you?
I don't want to. I want to help. I believe if Mr. Green was to speak, I've been texting him more. I've met with the specialist, the addiction specialist. Miss Price, I met with her as well. I talked to Miss Griffin. I went to Miss Griffin's house, her mom's house, to help her with stuff. And her, like, it's not that I don't want to do stuff. I'm doing it. It's just the fact that this is literally a problem. I've been smoking more in my life than I have not been smoking.
I understand that, but you've got to, it's not just about doing something. It's about truly working to overcome it.
And trust me, Your Honor, I'm not saying that I'm not trying. This is somebody I have had success in my life off of doing things repeatedly. Every day you're doing the same thing. Every day you're doing the same thing. Same thing. You're going hard at it. You're sweating bullets at it. I done been there and done that. It's just the fact that when I tell you that I need something to calm me down, I've had concussions. I had 2 surgeries. My surgeries still don't sit right with me. It still don't to this day.
Okay, and there are things that you can do to address those as opposed to just getting high.
I told you, of course, about my surgeries. I have. I went to doctors and talked to them about it too. I don't know if it's nothing they can do about it or what it is, but just as far as the life that I have had, I absolutely need something to calm me down.
But then, Mr. Campbell, why? So listen.
I don't want to, but I don't want to be a problem.
But no. Let me tell you, this is problem. Hold on. This is problem solving court, sir. We have people that come before us addicted to everything, heroin, crack, everything. Okay, the whole gambit, fentanyl, all of that. So it's not that you are a problem. The problem is that you're saying, I want you to hear what you've said. You said you need something to calm you down. That's what your word said, right? But you have decided what you need to calm you down. You're not a doctor. Hold on, I'm gonna make my point. You're not a doctor, am I correct?
Correct.
All right, so you have stated what you need to calm you down. What I'm saying is in the program, you've not even given us an opportunity to have you see a doctor, to have you work with a specialist so that they can talk about some other things to address your concern. You have some legitimate concerns. I'm not downplaying that at all, but you're not giving us a chance to even do that because you're self-medicating.
I did see it. The first thing I did when I got into this program was saw a doctor. He prescribed me 3 different medications.
Okay.
None of them worked.
You're still taking them?
I take some from time to time.
Then that's why they're not working.
Right, but
Did you say right? I want to just lay there for a couple of seconds. Did you say right?
When I first started
no, I'm asking you about a question you just answered for me. Did you say right?
Yes.
Okay, now go ahead.
When I first started the medication, it was not working. I took it.
How long did you take it?
For like a week.
1 week.
Yes, but it's 3 different medications. That's a lot that's going on. One of them make your heart race very fast. There's a lot that's going on with that.
And so how did you, no, listen, you talking to a person who does not like to take pills, won't take it, will fight and go everything natural and challenge the doctor and everything. And short of them telling me you're gonna die if you don't take it. So I feel you on that. But what was your response to a week of taking it and in your opinion, it didn't work?
The doctor that prescribed me the medication, I told him that it wasn't working.
Okay, and then what did they do?
They prescribed me weed. He told me to go get my weed card. That's the same doctor that whoever put me in front of. He told me to go get my weed card and I got it.
Okay, then, it sounds like if that's the route he wants to take, he really doesn't qualify to be in our program. We're exempt. He doesn't qualify if if a doctor is saying that he's got to smoke marijuana, then he doesn't qualify. Attorneys?
Judge, if that's the only medication that the doctor says can help him, then yeah, I don't think this is the place for him. Especially if it's being utilized as a medication. I think that maybe him going back to the alpha judge and just dealing with the traffic matters, maybe what he needs to do. And I almost hate that because I feel like we could help Mr. Campbell. I really, and Mr. Campbell knows this. Mr. Campbell knows I want to help him. He knows that I'm here for him and I have been, and I've stepped up above and beyond what I normally do in connecting him with a mentor. But he'd have to be willing to understand that he would have to look for another doctor through our courts that would give him a different medication, and he'd have to agree to use that medication and not use the marijuana. That's just where it is. Ms. Warfield,
And
unless you think any differently.
Honestly, I don't. If Mr. Campbell isn't open to any other option, I mean, Mr. Campbell, I do understand that this doctor told you, to go get a medical card, but that was while you were in our program. So in my mind, I would have followed up with, well, I can't smoke. So is there anything else that I can get? But I do understand the position that Mr. Campbell's in. I understand the position this court's in. It's sticky, but at the end of the day, we have to make sure that we meet best practices and that we are in compliance with legislative law. And Your Honor, I'm going to leave it to your discretion at this point.
Mr. Campbell, I have one question for you before I make my decision. The 5 days that you took the medicine, were you smoking?
Yes.
So see, you don't even know if the medicine would have worked.
I believe I do.
I'm just, but you see where I'm going with it, right? If my doctor prescribes me something and I'm taking it, but I'm also self-medicating, if it doesn't work, can I really say that it's the medicine that's not working? Or could it be it's a combination of the medicine and the self-medicating? Or could it be just be, it's the medicine that's not working? Or could it be that it's not the self-medicating that's not working? We don't know, right?
When I was locked up for them weeks, they was giving me the same pills. The pills don't work. Some of them make your heart race. That's not what I need. Like, that's not.
No, and I don't want you to take a pill that makes your heart race. But what I want you to do is make sure that you go and tell people this all the time. I'm not a doctor, so I don't engage in telling people, don't take the medicine. No, not even though that's my bad habit. Don't follow me on that one. I don't engage in telling people don't take the medicine because I'm not a doctor, right? But what I will tell you is that if my doctor prescribes something to me that I need and there's no other alternative for me, then I am going to go back to my doctor and say, hey, this medicine is doing X, Y, Z. Can we try something else? And my doctor is going to try something else. 9 out of 10 times. I've had to do that maybe twice in my lifetime. That something else did work, but I couldn't be halfway using the medication that they prescribed me or adding stuff to it.
I understand.
You see what I'm saying?
Like I said, when I was locked up, same medicine, no weed, don't work.
But you were only locked up, what, a week?
3 weeks. Locked up for 3 weeks. For not
No,
what he said. I was yelling. I did not threaten nobody. He told me I threatened somebody. I did not threaten
I didn't lock you up. You locked you up. Your behavior in this courtroom was such that it warranted you going to the Wayne County Jail, and I stand by that.
Right, but Your Honor, I did not lock myself up.
Okay, no, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
I did not threaten you.
Mr. Campbell, maybe you can go back and listen to the video, listen to the tape, order the transcript, whatever you need to do, sir. Your words that you were stating and your behavior, hold on. Your words and your behavior warranted you going to the Wayne County Jail. And I stand by it. And if you do it again, I'll stand by it and stand by it. So we're gonna move past that, okay? What I was trying to get you to see is that if you're taking the medication and you're adding stuff to it, you have not given the medication an opportunity to work. Even if it's 3 weeks, that would have been the time while you were there to reach out and say, listen, this medicine is not working for me, or it's giving me palpitations or what have you, so that they then could have gotten you to a doctor, which is what they would have done, so that they could adjust your medication.
These systems, when I was just locked up, trust me, I'm in a cell that I can't take 2 steps to the left or 2 steps to the right. I'll talk to them about my elbow surgeries, the doctors and everything. Once you enter, and they're gonna go about their day.
No, if they're giving you medication, see, you don't understand the relationship that we have with the jail. So let me enlighten you for like 2 minutes.
I was in there.
I understand.
I'm in there.
Okay, so I heard your part. Listen to mine. We meet with the jail every single week for our Wednesday cases, which you happen to be on our Wednesday docket. Every week, we are monitoring. They're taking their medications. Are they having any issues? Do they need to see a doctor? All of those things. We have staff from the Wayne County Jail. So if you were saying to them that you had issues with your medication, that would have been addressed. I understand they have a big population of people. I don't know what they do for everybody else. All I can say is what they do for us for our Wednesday docket. At no time did anybody raise an issue other than about your medication or you saying that your medication was not working.
Not important to them.
Okay. Mr. Campbell, I'm just saying, I meet with them every single week. We have very candid discussions about what's going on with our folks that are in the Wayne County Jail, and you were a part of our folks. You were not just some run-of-the-mill person that went to the Wayne County Jail. They have us on speed dial. We have them on speed dial about our people, okay? And so at no time. But listen, if what you want to do is remain in the state that you're in, you have so much potential, Mr. Campbell. You do. And really, quite frankly, I think your self-medicating interferes with your ability to thrive the way that you should be thriving in life. You may not see it, but I do. I think it totally interferes where you have been convinced that this is the only way that you can calm down. I'm not convinced. You're highly intelligent. You're very gifted. You have so much to offer to yourself and to the world. I think that if you just gave yourself a chance, that the whole trajectory of your life would change. But I don't think that you're willing to do that. I think that you're in this place. You have convinced yourself that this is where I am and this is all that's going to work. And if that's where you are, then I'm unable to help you in this kind of program. I'm unable to help you. So if that's where you are, I'm gonna have to release you. And you'll just be out there until you figure it out. And that's unfortunate because we've got everything here I know that can help you. I know it can. But you're no different than anybody else who has stood here. And I wish you would have been here earlier, or you would have been a part of our graduation on Friday. You'd be there to see it, where we have people that come to us and say, I can't help myself. I'm not gonna be able to stop shooting heroin. I'm not gonna be able to stop. This is what I've done. And yeah, it's a rough road. And yeah, we have to get in the trenches and fight it out. But today, guess what? Drug-free. Living far more productive lives than they were ever living. But it did require sacrifice because they wanted to do it their way. No different than me or you. We want to do things our way. And they had to understand that if your way worked, you would never be here.
I apologize for wasting your time, man.
Oh, no, it was not a waste of time. Not at all. If I can help anybody, it's not a waste of time. But if this is your decision that you are going to continue to get high because you think that that's what helps you in your life, that I don't see another 5 months of resources going toward this. I just don't.
Okay.
I don't. So that's where you are?
Okay.
That you just want to get high and that's how you want to deal with your issues?
I want to be okay.
Okay. And so and being okay is for you is smoking marijuana, right?
Yes.
All right. So I'm left with no other alternative other than to terminate him from the program. I don't have any other alternative. He doesn't have the willingness to change. He's not come to the table to help himself. And so I am going to terminate him. Let's get the alpha judge for C's. And I'm going to send it to his
Judge
alpha
Stanford Jones, Judge.
Oh, okay. All right. Can you call Judge Stanford Jones and see when we can get him on her schedule? Because I don't want you to leave without. Give us 1 second. If you ever change your mind, you can always let us know.
Okay.
Did they give you a date?
I don't know, how far should I go out?
Oh, what did?
How far a date should I go?
No, he should see that judge next week. Yes, immediately. Yeah.
And it'll be.
Nope, all of, anything that what did we give him? We gave him some dismissals. I'm setting them aside. You need to look him up. And I may need to wait till Ms. Mack, any dismissals he's gotten, I'm setting them aside, and everything will go to Judge Stanford Jones.
June 27th, Judge, is that okay? Is that a good day?
Yes, yes. Is that her clerk?
Yes.
All right. And so,
Judge, will these be set for pretrial? Because we have arraigned him, right?
yes.
Okay.
What was that date again?
June 27th.
All right. So June 27th, it is Miss Mack. Not Miss Mack. She must know I'm calling her name. Miss Drew, I need you to run a summary for Mr. Campbell. And then Miss Walker, do you have the plea agreement that he entered into for successful completion of our specialty court?
I do not have a copy, Judge. Mr. Green may have a copy in the file.
Mr. Green, do you have what cases were dismissed? I know Miss.
I do. I'm unsure. Let me check in my file, but I'm not too sure if we may have those.
All right. Let me just check one thing. Give me 1 second. Would this also give me anything that's been dismissed for him? I need to know what's been dismissed. Because these are the ones that are on my docket. There were some other matters, I believe, that were dismissed, and I'm setting aside those dismissals.
Okay, I'm gonna look through each one, see if I can find.
And any dismissals, they'll be set for pre-trial as well as the things that are on my docket.
Okay, so.
And so all the things that are on my docket that say review, you would schedule them for pre-trial.
Okay.
And then whatever you all do for the civil infractions, you'll do that as well. Any dismissals are set aside and they will be scheduled for pre-trial. Any civil infractions, I'm not gonna put that on there. Any civil infractions that were dismissed will also be set aside and placed on Judge Stanford Jones's docket.
Okay.
All right, very good. And so we have a court date for you, June 27th, 2023. What time did they give us for Judge Stanford Jones? What time did they give us? 8:35 a.m. And does she do Zoom or does she require the people to come in?
Judge, her pre-trials are on Zoom, her trials are in person.
All right, so since you're gonna be in a pre-trial stage, you would be on Zoom. Okay, I do wish you well, Mr. Campbell. If you ever change your mind and really want to try something different, come back and see us.
Okay.
We're here. We want to help you, but we just can't do it your way, okay? All right, thank you, sir. All right. Anything else for my consideration?
Nothing from the people.
All right, I think that takes care of everyone. Mr. Shaw, did you meet with Miss Price?
No, ma'am.
You have not? Does somebody, can you get, who's Miss Cleveland? Can you get Miss Cleveland on, call her and ask her what's going on with Mr. Shaw? Oh, there's Miss Cleveland. Miss Cleveland, what are we doing with Mr. Shaw?
He's just needing to go back into the conference room, and the clinical assessor has been on. Ms. Price has been on since a long time. So I think she was also part of your previous hearing. So that might have been why she wanted to observe what was going on.
Okay.
So he's ready.
All right, so officer, we need to put Mr. Shaw in the conference room, and then Miss Wilson, if you could send Mr. Shaw and Miss Price, good morning, no, good afternoon, Miss Price, good afternoon. Send Miss Price to the a breakout room. And then I think for Mr. Shaw.
Judge, do we need one of Mr. Fikens or Mr. Reed? Because I think that's our other specialty court, correct? Not Miss Warfield.
Right, but we've already done Mr. Shaw.
Oh, so you don't need me either.
I'm sorry, I don't. I'm sorry. I always need you. I don't like that word. I don't need you.
You don't need me today in this moment. Okay.
For this moment, right. I don't need you in this moment. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go get my Taylor Swift outfit together. So
take a picture, take a picture, take a picture.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye. Be safe.
Your Honor.
All right, so yeah, he's just speaking with Miss Price, holding him today for the diluted test.
Yes, and Your Honor, everything was good today. I just wanted to report that out. I got
wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. I saw your message, Attorney Warfield, and I'm so excited. I'm gonna try to act like I'm not.
Good. She wanted me to make sure I told you that. So
yes, I'm so excited. Oh my goodness.
I told her protocol too. So we looking, making sure she. Yep.
Okay, get it together now. Tell her come ready. She gotta come ready and come right.
I told her. So I knew you would like that.
I love it.
Have a great weekend.
All
You're
right.
not going to see Taylor?
No, ma'am. Unless it's Bruno or Kim. Yeah, let me put the hierarchy. Let me put the hierarchy right. Unless it's Kim or Bruno, because I don't want folks to get it confused. Okay. Don't make me choose. Because Kim is there. And anytime y'all want to stop by my office and see my portrait of him in my office, you can. I love it.
Have a great day.
All right, have a great weekend. All right, take care. Thank